We're live, folks. Here we are. How about that? Kyle is doing some lighting slash camera adjustments. I was hoping to have, I say hoping, it was very last minute, so I don't blame him. But I wish we could have got Terry on. Terry's got some sheath work done uh, for, he got a Joke Wolf sheath done, a Thug sheath done, a couple Thug sheaths done, and is about to do the first fret sheath. The frets are going to be, they're all going to come with a leather sheath. Um, it's just too, let me tell you why it's aggravating to offer a difference. First of all, the money wasn't much, but when you start doing different things for different people, well then when I want to ship stuff out, like if I have a whole box of stuff to ship out to people, I end up waiting on one person ends up waiting on another person's stuff to be ready. And I know that's not fair, but with the profit margin being as low as it is, I just can't afford to eat shipping on every one of them since I don't charge shipping. And so the plan with the fret moving forward is to have them ready, done, sheath, or in a leather sheath, and you just purchase it and it just gets shipped. The thing I want to do away with the most is the wait. You ordering something and then it being 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever it is before it gets here. And I can tell you the reasons why that happens, but if I tell you enough times, it just starts to sound like excuses. It's all on me. So we're really hoping to change that and expedite that. That's why I want, before a fret is bought and paid for, I want it to be done in the sheath, ready to go. So to everybody who's had to suffer through the old way, I apologize. Trying to fix it. So yeah, let's see what we got here so we can say hey. See, Marco's here, Ground Fog, Fed, Kyle, Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen. Dr. Drew Dude. Dr. Drew Dude, I need to get with you too. I don't remember what we talked about on the sheath, but your knife is ready to be sharpened. I need to find out what. I honestly don't remember what we talked about on the sheath, so I need to get that handled. Douglas Wagner, not a name I recognize, but welcome. YouTube Music Portal. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I really want to get to a point, like I said, to where we can show the knife, you can see it, and it's ready to be bought and shipped, within a 2 to 3 day time frame. That'd be awesome. So I guess maybe Kyle's ready. He popped back up. You ready, bud?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I'm sure you heard all that, what I was saying, and I know that excites you because that's where you've wanted this to be from the get-go.
Actually, I was out of the studio. I had to reset my
oh, okay.
phone.
I was telling them that I wish Terry was here because I wanted to show off some of the sheath work. But what I'm the most excited about is, my plan on the frets is before you ever have an opportunity to purchase a fret, it's going to be made, finished, sharpened in a leather sheath. That way, when you say, hey, I want that one and you pay for it, it'll ship out within 48 hours. And yeah. I really want to alleviate this months-long wait on knives. And like I told them, I can spend an hour telling you why that happens, but after a while, it all just becomes a long list of excuses, But hopefully we're moving towards that being the case where, the knife's available, you can purchase it, and it'll just get shipped out.
It just takes a while to get your processes worked out.
It does. And to all those people who did pay and had to wait, man, I'll never be able to thank those people enough because this would have been over a long time ago if it weren't for those people. I didn't have the money to do this. They suffered because of it. They had to wait entirely too long, but without them doing that, I never would have been able to move forward.
Yeah.
I say never. I may have, but it would have been a 2 or 3 year process versus a 1 year process.
Once you hit the ground running, it it's too late for logistics. That just takes time to work itself out.
Right.
So
Yeah. So I'm hoping we're about there. The books are all the people who are way past due are caught up, and I know it makes no sense that there are people who have ordered knives since those people ordered and have already got theirs. Like I said, I've had a really bad run of bad luck locally with paying people to do things for me, things that I can't do. Um, that's been a nightmare. You know, the two people I can tell you right now that I've used and I have experience with within the community is, Kyle is bulletproof. I know I ship my stuff to Kyle. He's going to get it done. He's going to do it right. He's going to get it out in a good time frame. And so is Terry at 1931 Leatherworks. Um, those guys, it seems like I can depend on. But everybody here local that I try to use, whether it's my laser etching or whatever, man, it's just a nightmare to try to get these people to understand that when you tell me something, I'm going to tell my customer that. And then when you don't do it, I'm a liar. And they just don't get it. I think they get it. They just don't care. That's what it boils down to. They just don't care that, they're making me into a liar. So, yeah, there's no reason why laser engraving should have caused a 2-week delay, but it did.
the problem is though, with that is they're not looking at you as a client,
right?
And you're not going to be a repeat customer because of that, though. So
right.
But
I have been. Cheeto, a bunch of them.
Cheeto, Todd, Mills. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but a lot of people don't look at the long-term business plan versus just making.
Hopefully, I have a backup plan. I got really good news there, Kyle. Terry currently has a laser engraver. I don't think it's a big one, but I don't care if they're engraved or if they're just etched. If it will etch my logo onto the blade, I'm perfectly fine with that. So he's currently working towards practicing on that. He's going to make sure he can do it. And if that's the case, then that takes a whole nother step out of my worry process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying he can do it yet. We don't know if the machine's capable.
Right, but
I know that you can put some type of solution on the metal, and even a low wattage laser will etch it won't engrave it, but it will etch it into the steel.
Correct.
Which means it's going to be there unless you sand it off. But yeah, I'd be fine with them being etched. So
what's up, KDX?
Well, yeah, man. What's up, buddy? I ain't seen you in a few days.
Yeah, that would be nice to eliminate one extra step in the process.
Yeah, it's that you would think local people that you can go talk to and shake their hand would be more dependable than people that you've never met. You've only talked to a few times via the internet, but that's not been the case so far. Like I said, man, Kyle's been bulletproof. So far, Terry's been bulletproof. More than happy with their work. Terry sent me some pictures.
If Terry, send them to me and I can present.
I'm going to send them to you, Kyle. Right. Well, yeah, I'll send them to you right now since we got it open.
Okay, cool. Never mind then.
You can share the screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to approve it, but.
Right. Terry, I hate to ask, you take one more picture with all the knives laying there and out of the sheath with the sheath beside them. Just so that people can see what's in the sheath. That would be awesome. If you send me that picture, Kyle can pop it up. Look at there.
What's up?
What's up, John?
Oh man, I'm sitting here messing with the sheath. What are you doing?
We were just talking about sheaths. Terry got
She's
some
a
sheaths.
pain in the ass. Not Terry sheaths,
Yeah.
but Kydex. I got this.
I don't know how this is going to work, guys. I'm fixing to share this forth. These are the leather sheaths that Terry made. These I see 3 thugs, and that's a joke wolf on the very top.
Dude.
That's the first one. Let me grab. There's the second one.
Yeah, there's the clips. So they're all clip-in pocket sheaths.
Those are sick.
Yeah. Terry can also do scout carry sheaths. I think I could be wrong. Terry,
He
correct
can
me in the
do.
comments. I think
He
that's
gave
Terry's
me 3
favorite thing.
options. He gave me clip, horizontal, or
Right. I was pretty sure. I told him clip because I was pretty sure
Dangler.
that's what you wanted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I was telling them, John. You know, I've had so many headaches, and it's caused me so much stress in the past with delays. A lot of them my fault, and some of them not my fault. That with the frets, before we take an order on a knife, I want it to be done in the sheath, ready to ship. You know, I don't, right. Now that's with this first 4. We will take orders for anything past the first 4, and but we won't. It's not going to be where you have to pay up front type thing. So
Yeah, those look great, Terry.
They look fantastic.
yeah,
I'm
I can't wait to see this bad boy right here in a sheath, though. I'm
God,
super
dude,
excited.
that is so good looking. You killed that.
And I was wrong. I looked this up. This is not 1/8 inch. This is 3/32. So this is like 0.96 to begin with, and full flat. That should be a cutting machine right there.
So 3/32. What'd you say at first?
An 1/8.
An 1/8. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was 1/8, but I knew it wasn't. I kept saying that because we were talking about that other knife being an 1/8, and
I got you.
I knew it wasn't. So I went back and looked, and what I'd ordered was 3/32 Magna cut, which I think's like 0.98 or 0.96, something like that.
And they just roll it out thinner for you when you get it like that.
And I flat ground these, so
Shane, pull up the screen when you get a chance.
I removed some material there, flat grinding them. Yeah, but there they are, the knives with their sheaths. And as you can see, guys, these aren't just generic sheaths that the knife shoved into and made fit. Those are
custom sheaths.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Terry. I'm pretty sure those are wet molded to actually fit that particular knife. Because all my knives, to be honest, are a little bit different. So they kind of have to be, or they need to be wet molded. So basically a 20 pack, 20 sack. What are we talking about? I missed something.
You can tell by looking at the shapes of the sheaths that they're all kind of uniquely made for that blade.
I will say this, guys. We'll start tonight. We'll take spots on these first 4. You're not paying. One of them is spoken for already. So don't message me. Message Javon. And then the first 3 people that message him can buy one of the first 4.
There you go.
I'll drop an email in here.
I know Bobo. Go ahead and put Bobo Schnoggins on that list, John. I know he wants one. I know Richard Hopkins said he wanted one, but he needs to make that.
Yeah, I'll talk to Richard. We
Shane,
talk every day.
Terry just clarified.
Who did?
Terry just clarified in the chat.
Oh yeah, each one had their own pattern, and we're all wet formed, oiled, waxed, and polished by hand. That's awesome, dude.
Terry, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that's my email address, guys. Except it didn't go. It wouldn't let me post
There's number 3 right there.
Shane's got me banned.
Cheetos down for a 3rd fret. So that's 3 of them. There's
y'all
one
shoot me
more.
an email.
Keep in mind, guys. As soon as these go out and we get the money, I'm going to order the Magna Cut and get the next batch started. So
and I'm going to be featuring as soon as I get the one in my hand. I'm going to run it through just my testing, which you guys know me. I'll open cat food with it. I'll cut a bunch of cardboard with it. I'll just see how it carries. I'll play with it, and I'll do a lot of content on it because I'm stoked about it. I mean, I saw what I would call, what would you call that, Shane? Gen 1 at Blade Show.
Yeah, and it wasn't near as nice as it is now.
I mean, it's a totally different knife. But my point was, I was excited with the Gen 1 before Shane put the changes that he put into it. So it's a great knife. I feel really, really stoked about it.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, what have you been up to, dude?
That leaves one, and like I said, it may still be a couple of weeks before these are ready yet, because Terry's got some stuff going on. There's two I've got at the shop that I'm not happy with the handles on, so I'm redoing them. Right now, there's the one Terry has that's going to be in a sheath. It's going to Javon. Terry will have this one in his hands very soon to make a sheath for, and it'll go to Javon, and then the other two will come shortly after.
Shane, I just updated the master list that I've got with those names.
Okay.
What's up, One Moon? What's up, Brian? Crispy. Empty.
Yeah. So the way that will work, too, is you'll be paying Javon for the knife. Javon will ship the knife. This is his knife. I just made it, but yeah, I'll take orders. Don't get me wrong. If it's easier to reach out to me, absolutely reach out to me, and I'll shoot it.
We'll figure out what the logistics are best for the community as a whole. It was just something I want to take as much off Shane, since he's doing the heavy lifting, i.e., making the knives happen. I don't mind handling all the rest of it.
Right. Yep. I'm excited about that, man. And I think pretty sure I'd have to double check. I need to get with Kyle on that too. Pretty sure all the first batch kitchen knives are already spoken for. So I am, in about a week, I'm ordering a whole nother sheet of 14C for more kitchen knives. And I am doing a batch of MagnaCut kitchen knives as well. But man, I don't know what it is in this thin to get up big enough for kitchen knives, but I'll just say this: the price difference between a 14C kitchen knife and a MagnaCut kitchen knife is over $100.
And where's the advantage? Are you getting anywhere close to $100 of value, Kyle?
No.
Unless I think if you're a professional chef cutting all day, you might.
If you're a professional chef, you're touching knives up way sooner than that.
Right.
So no, to me, no. Because
average
14C, guy, the strops back so easy, then and hones back so easy. No, I don't see a benefit to that.
And
I was curious.
We're going to have a great price on them too, guys. I'm not going to price them just yet. Me and Kyle have to go over some numbers soon, but I promise you, these are going to be more than a Walmart kitchen knife. But I don't think you'll be able to buy a handmade custom kitchen knife even close to what these are going to run.
No.
So, and as you know, I have two sizes. I have the K-tip and the Santoku. So
I think that's so cool that you're even attempting that.
We'll go over that list, Shane, because I'm not 100% sure on all the names on the kitchen knives, so we'll touch base on that. But we're close, though, on those.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see my Instagram comment, dude? My lawnmower runs like a cracked up billy goat, dude. I put that new carburetor on there. I made sure it fit just right.
I know this sounds bad, buddy, and I never wish you any hardship, but I was hoping that it'd be at least another month for that lawnmower ran.
Oh, I know, dude.
So much fun with the lawnmower talk.
Kathleen wanted me to film it, and I should have. I almost filmed it running, but then it wouldn't have proven that I even did it, because once I took my carburetor out of my box, I could tell it was the exact same make and model. So the tricks I had was getting the auto choke rod. You know how that has to come off a certain way because those two rods are bent a certain way.
Yeah.
So I just paid attention to how I took them off, dude. Put them back on, made sure I had my vacuum seals. I really feel like a cross between Forrest Gump and Dale Earnhardt's the lead mechanic. I hate to say it, but I do feel like I've got that kind of experience. If anybody needs
you probably look like him.
Holler at me.
The good thing is there's no car doors on the lawnmower.
That's true.
That's how it got fixed so quickly.
But we were talking about that when it all goes to fire and we're all having to drive around in cars that are all beat up, mine will at least be easy to shoot out of.
What's up, Jesse? What's up?
I just noticed Brian F's here too, guys. I want to remind you guys that the bolt-on hardware, bolt-on scales done by Brian F is still available. That is extra. Now we'll discount. I will discount my price on the knife a little bit since I don't have to do the scales, but I have to get with Brian to find out what the upcharge is.
Make sure it's equitable.
Right.
And those will be one-offs too.
It won't be full price plus what he charges. I'm going to knock some off, because I don't have to do the scale work, but that is still a thing. I think we've just figured out, Brian's a business owner, and me dumping a batch of knives on him is not a good idea. But one at a time, that is still an option. So always remember that.
And it's great to have that option.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love this that I did. And I also love the look of some of the one he did with the bolt-on hardware. And his bolt-on hardware is going to look much better now that I've learned that there's some design aspect.
Where to place the pins?
Yeah, I have to think ahead of time where I place the pins so that large screw head will have room. I didn't do that. I put a lot of headache on that guy because of not pre-planning.
Well, y'all were trying to figure out how parts went together that you wouldn't have necessarily thought independently depended on each other planning, right? Kind of like the sheetrock guy not knowing exactly what the painter needed to make it a smooth transition.
The sheetrock guy not knowing where the electrical plugs were going to be. Yeah, it was even worse. It was like that, or not knowing where the plumbing's going to stick out of the wall. I didn't think about it, and then when he got it, he had to. It was extra work and aggravation on him to make it work. So his work will improve in the future because I will pre-plan for his work, if that makes any sense.
What's up, everybody? I've been looking down trying to find a grommet because I dropped mine on the floor, and I thought it would be easier to find a fresh one.
I can't highlight comments.
Hey, I got something I want to go grab. I want to show y'all. Hang on.
Jeffrey Maniaco said, Stevie, what's up, everybody?
Yoko, that's fairly accurate.
You talking to me?
No. What's going on, guys? What's up, Stevie? Stevie, you joining or are you just hanging out tonight?
Get a little romantic in here. But keep in mind, too, guys, you guys saw Terry's sheaths. His prices on his sheaths are better than Terry's custom making me sheaths for about what I pay for a generic sheath that you have to make a knife to just fit it. His prices are excellent.
They're nice.
And it doesn't have to be for my knife. That's what I was getting at, is if you have a fixed blade with a crappy plastic sheath, hit Terry up. Man, this is a lot of pressure because I don't even know if this works yet. I'm just to try it right here for the first time live.
That's just confidence, dude.
Is it?
Yeah. What's the worst thing that can happen?
You can't.
It's glowing, it looks like to me.
It is, but the light from the screen is hindering it. But I've started making some glow scales. So
put your finger.
Dude, those are gorgeous. That reminds me of New Orleans.
Yeah.
What you were holding right there.
Those aren't scales. I'm sorry. Those are liners. I wanted to be able to do glow liner. What I figured out about, like, when you buy mica powder, let's say it comes in a can this size, it's got this little tiny cocaine spoon that you just scoop out just a little bit to add to the epoxy to color it. But when you're using the glow mica, Literally for a very small amount of epoxy, you have to pour the whole bottle in there. It takes a much, much richer mixture to get the glow to work. So it kept failing me. And fortunately, Mike Navarro at Outcast Blanks told me the proper, the proper mix.
And that was exactly why I quit drinking and doing cocaine, because it gave me the little spoon and I would just keep filling that motherfucker over and over and over, and I'd never get the mix right. Next thing I knew, I'd be looking out the window waiting for the feds to come take me
I
away.
wish I could see that. You can see the spot glowing in the middle, but
yeah, we can see
That's
it.
gorgeous, dude.
It just looks so much better here because it's glowing in color. John Brynite reached out to me again.
Who did?
Brynite.
Oh, really?
This is what happens. So, and you guys might think poorly of me for this.
They'll
reach out and ask me if I'll do a review on a flashlight if they send it to me for free. I'm like, sure I will. I've done this several times. You guys just don't know it. They'll send me the flashlight, and I honestly test it. I fully charge it. I turn it on and leave it on until it shuts off. I'll go on Amazon, and I'll say, was it as advertised, and does it stay on as long as they say it will? I just state the stuff that I can test. And then when they ask me if I'll do a YouTube video on it, I say, yeah, and I do. And I set it to private. And I send them the link so that they can view it.
Right, because you don't want to.
I'm sure they probably use that link on Amazon so that somebody can view it. It is a Chinese product because there's not a $40 a good $40 American flashlight. Even
what you ought to do, Shane, is set it to unlisted.
The point is, they'll finally get aggravated with me and start ignoring me. But the problem is that job at Brynite, that person gets replaced about every 6-8 months. So as soon as the next guy comes on and sees my email is still in the list,
he comes right after you.
He'll reach out and ask if I want to review a flashlight. I'll end up well over $1,000 worth of Brynite flashlights.
All you need to do is set it to unlisted, not private, because still people can't find it unless they got the link. But then when you send the link and they share it with people on Amazon, people from Amazon can go and watch it on YouTube, but you're not drawing anybody out. If you make it private, it's different. But yeah, you know him that reached out to me last week and I haven't replied? Remember Barry Sales? Stevie remembers Barry Sales.
I don't remember Barry Sales. I won't do knives. And I'm not looking down on anybody that does, man. That's fine. I'm not going to do a knife because I feel like the reason I'm so passionate about because I feel like I'm trying to preserve something. Flashlights, we've already lost it. It's already gone.
Yes and no. There's some good ones made here. So
bite your tongue.
Who makes them here?
There's quite a few companies that make good ones,
dude. I can't
Focusworks is Canada.
But the same difference.
I've had several people tell
me. I know
me
it's not the same difference.
That the UI boards in them are not made here.
Well, yeah, they can't do the boards here, but that's the same as everything else. I mean, but they're making the actual bodies here.
No, is this a Focusworks or is this a different one?
That's Focusworks.
Okay, I thought it was US.
I will say this: I paid money for this night core. It's an American company.
They're made in China, though.
I know.
Okay,
but it's an American company, and I paid cash for this because it was an American company, and I just had to buy. I had to swallow the fact that where the components come from or where it was made. The Brynites have been a better flashlight than this. About 1 out of 10 times when I turn this on, I have to take the cap off to disconnect the battery and put the cap back on to get it to work again. I also have a Brynite headlamp that the little rubber cover over the switch, the little soft rubber cover, within 4 or 5 uses, it was torn and flapping and falling off.
It rotted?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of 4.7s?
I'm not bad-mouthing Nightcore. Both products I bought were some of their, I think the headlamp was 40, that flashlight was like 70. But
4.7 is the budget on Prometheus.
Prometheus, right. So what's unique about the 4.7s is you can take the boards out. You can take I don't take flashlights apart, but remember when Lefty got in that big thing where he was swapping out components?
Yeah.
Fortnite, even though they're imported, or 4.7s, they don't solder their stuff down. So if you want to go in and mod it with different buttons, with different, I don't know the different names of the components, but you can. And it's like a $60 flashlight. I've been really impressed with it. They've never sent me a Prometheus, but they have sent me a 4.7s.
There are some good ones that are USA made, but you do have to pay for them.
Terry, remind me in the future, and I'll ask. I absolutely will. I'll ask if I can get that one to review. And
Stevie, you remember Barry Sales, don't you? Barry Sales liked my video so much that was just a trash, and it was the worst video, meanest video I've ever done without being just downright mean.
Dawson, that's correct. The only thing is Cloud Defensive does outsource some of their stuff. Yeah. So
I want a Surefire. I am like a lot of you guys though, I can't afford a Surefire right now. I mean, if I was passionate enough about it, yes, I can save up, and I will. I'll have a Surefire on my AR eventually.
Malkovs, some Streamlights, the older Streamlights, you can still get made. Yeah, Michael, convos are not bad. Then you also got, I mean, if you don't mind overseas, then you want to get into modding, you can do Noctagon and MSR are really good ones.
Bugsy Minish.
I heard a pew-pew mounted flashlight was like putting a beacon light on you. I thought that was a big no-no for tactical stuff. I know you got to have a light.
Our beacon's not a bad idea, but Bugsy mentioned Phoenix. Isn't Phoenix the same people that make the RUIKE knives? Yeah, Phoenix Flashlights and Rock are the same company.
Are they really?
They make it. Yeah, and I still think they make the best Chinese pocket knife ever made. The Rock P801B is the best Chinese-made work knife ever produced. I chucked that shit off a bridge, and they still asked if I wanted to review more shit.
Stevie remembers Barry Sales.
Javon, no. Having a white light on a pew is not a bad thing at all.
And I believe that. The guy that I used to go out to the range with told me he preferred, and I forget what he said, one in his hand because he didn't want it attached to his light. And I know you can turn it on and off with different.
It gives the bad guy something to shoot at. If they shoot the flashlight, I get that, but if you can't see them,
yes,
what difference does it make?
Yes, no, you have to have positive ID before you can actually do anything. The
Scooter.
I will not own a rifle without saying I want it.
Kyle, have you seen those guys test that $70 Temu IR? Now, granted, they tested it next to a $2,000 US made one, and it's not the same. But the point is, for $70,
what's up, Scooter?
You can see in the dark, and that's all that really matters. For $70, you can see what you used to couldn't see. Now, if you drop it, it's probably going to break.
Now, do you think transmitting that shit over to China, whatever you see, is a bad thing?
Say you're coyote hunting, and you're probably not going to drop your rifle. For $70, you can shoot in the dark, whereas you couldn't before. So, is it worth $70? I think it absolutely is.
It probably is. The thing that they talk about on a lot of the videos I watch, they call it like spyware, or it basically, not that I don't see what anybody would matter that they had it, but that could transmit somehow those images back to wherever.
It's not taking any images. Huh? It's just creating a infrared light. It's not taking any images.
Yes, it is. It has a SD card. It's
anything that you get electronic from China, typically, even the TVs have little cameras in them.
Oh yeah,
it's not a bad thing. They said the cameras are to help follow your eye movement.
China has nothing to gain from watching me other than watching me.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I was talking about using for. Okay. Anyways, I've got a company for you, Shane, for that. My buddy Tom went to get those knives the other day, and he was showing me a new system because he's got a PEC, he's got a D-ball, he's got a Maul, he's got all the expensive, fancy ones. He found a company that he can get one for like under $350 that does damn near the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just have mixed emotions about that. Like, if you're into that kind of thing and you're concerned about that kind of thing, would I rather see you buy a $70 piece of equipment to put on a cheap rifle that you could defend your home with in a horrible situation, or not have it at all because you can't afford it. Buy the fucking $70 one, man. Is it gonna hold up in the Ukraine war? No. But I'd rather you have that than have nothing until
the issue with it is though, if you're running like a PEC or a D-ball, you're going to be spending the money on your nods anyways.
Right.
I mean, and that's some
and
money.
all that stuff probably is made. It's all airsoft quality. In all honesty, is it going to hold zero after 100 rounds? Probably not. But I'd still rather have that than nothing.
Is that like a range of targeting zero?
Yeah, the issue with cheap optics is, you can pick one up, look through it, and the glass looks beautiful. You can zero it. It's accurate. But after 100 rounds, is it still accurate? Because that vibration, that's the issue with Chinese optics, that vibration. The way they mount the lenses in it, they don't have a whole lot of QC, so that glass will move.
How
So
much accuracy would you lose?
As little as after the fourth or fifth shot, where you were dead on zero before, now you're 2 inches high and 6 inches left.
Which makes a difference if you're shooting at somebody's.
That's why you pay for expensive optics. But
some of that comes down to mount too, though.
Who are the leaders? Who are the leaders? And like Kyle said, the mount. Like, does SIG make good optics?
They make good and bad optics.
They make a range. A lot of these companies, and like, they'll make anything from budget all the way up to good stuff.
The thing is, SIG don't make optics, so they may have a line that they buy cheap out of China that's not great, and then they have $1,000 scope that Leupold may be making for them that is great. So
right,
name brand doesn't necessarily. But it's really easy, man. There's so much information out there now, and guys that have tested this stuff to no end. Even Demo Ranch bought a Temu EOTech, and they absolutely destroyed that thing. And at the end of the day, it was still on. They couldn't make the red dot go off. The glass was broke. The housing was all bent up, but it still worked. So
biggest thing is,
you can research it and find stuff that will get you by.
You can get good value optics, but don't cheap on optics.
Yeah, this SIG LPVO that I've got, it's only like a $250 scope, and I'm sure it was probably produced in China for $46. But I don't know. The only expensive optic I've got, I traded for, and that's a $1,000 Aimpoint N4. Would I paid $1,000 for that sight? No, because it's 20-year-old technology. But
MT, you talking about Swamp Fox?
Huh?
I was asking MT was talking about Swamp Fox. I wouldn't put a Swamp Fox on anything I owned. Yeah. If I'm going to put it on something that's for defensive purposes, I want it to be flawless.
Well, yeah. I mean, you and I have always disagreed on that. Just like I tell people, if all you can afford is a high point, then okay, buy a high point.
Better than a stick.
Absolutely not. But you're right, because you can buy a good mid-range used pistol for the same price now. But
yeah, you want a high point, just go get a brick and throw it at them.
Yeah, but I've owned a lot of cheaper stuff that works for what I had it for. It did not break laying on my nightstand for 3 years, hoping somebody didn't come in my front door. It works just fine doing all that. If I had it out in the field using it all day, every day, I'm sure it would have fell the fuck apart.
I mean, there's a use case for everything, and it depends on what you're going to use it for. But if, like I said, if I'm going to put the money into something, I'd rather have one setup that's done right than have three setups.
Call.
What?
For $67. If you could take one shot in the dark that you could not take before, it's worth $67. That's
why would I be able to take it in the dark that I couldn't take it now?
You couldn't take it with IR because that guy can't see that IR scope. He can see your flashlight.
How do you know I don't have IR ready?
Well, you may. I'll admit that you do. I'm just saying, for me,
I've just got trivia and I just point and click.
I can't shoot a guy in the dark.
Jamon, you can't do that though.
For $67, I could. It might fall into 50 pieces after I take that first shot. But
as close as I'm going to be, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be out enough. I'm not going to be fire. Like if I go when I go with a long gun, I can see all that. But I tried. The guy I used to go to the range with thought I needed a red dot, and I didn't enjoy shooting with it. I didn't enjoy carrying it. Was the big thing. So for me, I'm going to be close enough to where I don't have to really point it at you.
Javon, the problem is, okay, first of all, you have to positive ID something before you can shoot it. It could
Right.
be your mom had come over to your house in the middle of the night and got in the front door and you just hear a sound and you just blast away.
No, I don't operate like that.
But if you're saying just point the tritium at them like that, I mean, you have to ID what you're shooting at.
Right. And when I'm carrying EDCing, I'm always looking at what's around me. And I know the difference in mom and stranger getting ready to come up and do
I'm talking
something.
about in your house. You said you're talking about in your house.
In my house, I've got a flashlight right by my bed. I mean, that's a totally different thing. So I'm not talking as much about in my house because I do have a light that will probably be the downfall of me, but I have a light in my house. And my mom knows better than to come around because she knows I'm not stable and armed.
Drew, dude, that's dangerous. I had a buddy of mine that had an AK that had about 5,000 rounds through it and started doing that. And then it got to where it would start emptying the mag on one trigger pull.
Ooh. No, but Kyle, I'm very, very, very careful. All I'm saying is I'm going to be very, very close. I'm not going to be.
Do you know what the Glock recommends to replace all the springs inside of a Glock? What the shot count is? It's 2,500.
I was going to say it's got to be under like a couple thousand rounds.
Yeah, 2,500 rounds. You're supposed to replace all the springs because it can cause that. It can cause a double pop, or it can cause malfunctions.
That's the first I've ever heard that. I've never owned a Glock, but I've never heard that was something that.
That's a good rule of thumb, anyways. Though, I mean, keep your springs fresh. And they're not. I mean, $12, $14. Ground fog. That's exactly what I was getting at.
What did he say?
The Sunny in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito, and I just started blasting.
Oh yeah. Empty, you don't want to. I've made a mistake. You don't want to have firearm conversations with Kyle. Kyle's an elitist when it comes to firearm talk.
I'm a bit picky. Sorry.
Hey man.
Hey, everybody's got.
If I could afford a $2,000 infrared sight, that's what I'd have. Will I buy a $67 one from China? Damn right I will.
Shane, my point of it is, I'd rather have one nice piece that's set up the way I want it than have 10 pieces that are.
But I don't have 10 pieces.
You understand what I'm getting at, though. Save up and get the right thing.
It's the same thing as knives. It's like guys saying I can't afford a Spyderco, but they have $3,000 worth of budget knives. I get what
I
you're
agree.
saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Been there, done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Empty. Pinky out.
I need to do a video about that, but I'm afraid it'll come off sounding pretentious.
Yeah. Who cares? It's the truth.
I know. I learned the hard way, the long way.
I had to prove it to myself, and man, I had a good time proving it.
Well, you're actually the catalyst that made me you, and then Dark Gravity put it in the you're an idiot terms. You know, you could be buying this if you just wouldn't buy that.
Right.
You were just calling me an idiot. You didn't put it into terms I could understand. Like, dude,
I did struggle with that for a while, but it's
the argument can be made. The argument can literally be made both ways. Now I know which side I fall on now, but I can also see more is better.
But I told y'all, I had a total stranger reach out to me wanting a reference for a pocket knife. I spent about an hour messaging back and forth, and at the end of the day, I told that guy to go buy a Chinese-made Rock P801B. I would have loved to have told him to buy a Mannix. The guy literally had $38. That's what he had. You know, and it was going to be months before, like, he was starting a job. He had to have a knife. So I get it. That's why the argument can be made both ways.
Is that knife better than a Rack?
Yeah, it's better steel.
What's it called? A Reich what?
P801D. It's a stainless steel frame lock with a 14C blade. Billy at Apex Alchemy HRC tested one. It was 64.
P801?
P801D. They're on Amazon all day. That was It and the rat were the two original budget overseas pocket knives. The painted up
$34.95. Yeah, that doesn't look bad.
It's not a bad. It looks like a budget Sabenza.
Or kind of like a Kershaw to me. Yeah, I kind of got a Kershaw vibe, but you're right. It kind of looks to Benzie.
And they got good edge retention. They're tough. They just work. And if that's all the money you have, that's what you should buy. But that's not where any of us are at anymore. We all
no, but that's part of the growth process and learning your path. Some people's path stays there. Some people's path doesn't. But
I'd love to hear back from that guy and find out, hey, I've been on the job for 8 months and dug myself out of a hole, and I just ordered my first Mannix. I'd be tickled to death. I hope he does, but that's just.
I'm not saying that you have to spend $500 to get a good knife, but my point is, I'd rather have one good $500 knife than 10 $50 knives.
Oh, I agree. I used to be
the opposite, but I agree with you too.
That's what I'm saying. As you start, you have to learn what you like. So it's easier to swallow the pill of buying a $50 knife to see if you like it or not.
And let's face it, guys. So much of this is self-affirmation. Like the reason why we wanted 30 or 40 or $50 knives is so that when somebody else in a live stream was talking about it, you could relate to them. You could be like, hey, I've got one of those and mine is great. Is it really great? You've got so many knives. Have you ever really used it? But that's not the point. The point is it gives you this connection to a community that you've just joined.
Exactly.
Get your foot in the door. Owning all those knives was just part of that. And
learning what they were like, learning how to take them apart, learning how to sharpen them.
It's a little personally embarrassing when you look back on it, but it's just the way it works. There's nothing wrong with it.
There is nothing wrong with it. And that's why it goes back to telling somebody that early on. Is that not doing them a disservice in the long run to not let them find their own way?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell them that, though, John.
Me neither.
You just covered that. You told me I was just calling you a dumbass.
No.
I don't have the tact.
No, it wasn't that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it was the tact. I meant that Dark Gravity put it in dollars and cents. You want to hinder her. If you don't buy the next 5 Civivs, you've got the money for the hinderer. It wasn't the delivery for me. Yeah. I think if you delivered it like the best psychological orator that ever was, the person that's just starting out is not going to be able to receive it without having their own experiences. I think you're robbing them of that experience.
And I'll be honest, I've gotten to a point now where I've supported American companies enough that if somebody I know designs something and I like it well enough and I feel like it's executed well enough, I'm not above going back and buying that knife now. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I have supported U.S. knife making. I don't have an issue with that anymore. I think I was just a little too dogmatic about it in my approach to convert anybody.
That was your approach, brother. Right. And there's nothing wrong with your approach.
Yeah. And I'm never going to.
Whoever said Terry, I think it was Terry said, I like to have options. I love that too, dude. I used to love walking up to my table and spending 5 minutes figuring out what mood I was in and what knife matched that mood and what I was going to be doing that day and pick the right knife for that. That was fun.
That was part of my. That used to be part of my.
Point to where every day I picked up a Mannix. Every day I picked up the Mannix because it fit every aspect of my life, and I didn't need that anymore. So, but
that was the knife that was on my mind the most. That was my first Grail. I probably carry it as little as anything I carry, but I had to have this. I waited for it, saved for it.
Shane, I want to say one thing real quick.
Is that all right if I just show them to you and leave the shirt on, buddy? It's like 64 degrees in this room right now. Yeah.
Shane, I wanted to clear something up real quick. I wasn't saying that you have to spend money, and I wasn't trying to belittle anyone with budget. I'm saying most people start in that world and they learn what they like and they move up. Not everyone has to. If you like where you're at, stay there. Because it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
I'll be honest. It was cheaper and I was happier. Ain't no doubt. My virgin days in the knife community, buying all that stuff, I did enjoy it more.
Well, you were more idealistic in a lot of what we believe and what we experienced as a community at that time, too. If you think about it, you might have been a little more seasoned than I was. but I was very much a total idealist.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what you don't know when you start out, and ignorance is bliss. So everything is great. You don't know how the sausage is made, so it's kind of like, yeah, that looks cool. I want that, not knowing anything about the
What
company.
was what was fun for me, Kyle, was the fact that I was kind of out of the loop for a year, maybe two, especially with Chinese knives. So when I started experiencing things, two knives, and I'm not kissing their ass because they're in here, two knives that I experienced that I was just blown away by because I've been out of the loop, and I didn't get to see the little progressions in the overseas made knives. But like when I experienced the Orlock, my mind was blown, and then when I experienced the Aurelia, my mind was blown. Because keep in mind, before that, my idea of high-end Chinese was a Kaiser T1. So,
Right.
seeing it now, it's thanks to designers, they're even way better than they used to be.
Man, they continue to up their game.
Yeah, and they will.
Space Ghost. That is sad, but
This little guy's called the Araya, and it's titanium. You can't really see it on my screen, but it's got this purple snowflake titanium inset.
Yeah.
S45 internal liner lock.
What do y'all think of this new thing? I'm sure China didn't create it, but I've only seen it on Chinese knives. This new crystallized titanium finish.
You and I talked to Dave Warren about that in the hall. Do you remember at Blade Show where he talked about taking his grinder and grinding?
Yeah, I talked to him for like an hour. Didn't realize it was Dave Warren.
Yeah. Oh, I was sitting out there with you. Yeah. I think this is a version of that cut into a thin inset size. I don't know how they make it or what it is. I personally think it looks like sugar-coated candy.
It's been around for a while, but it's not as used in this industry. But to me, it's gaudy. I'm not a.
I think it's a little gaudy too.
I think it's a little gaudy too. I'll give it
but
that.
If you like flashy, man, buy what you like.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of things.
Guy who doesn't think that's gaudy.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of all the colored
carbon fibers.
Just not a fan.
I think if it's done in jest or in taste, it's good. I'm not a in your face, but I like accents of stuff.
Yeah, I think it looks best with a muted, dark washed titanium bolster, just to break up some of that.
Like that's pretty wild.
Like those scales Kevin put on his Evo.
That looks like a zebra.
God,
sometimes that's pretty wild, but that is being an inlay, and that's the only part of it there. It kind of fits. To me.
I thought he was going to say people.
Look how pretty Bill's scales are on that.
What?
On that black Evo, those carbon fiber.
I was talking about Stevie. I'm sorry. I didn't know what he was talking about. Yeah.
Bill killed that. I've got
Terry, I still watch. As much as I hate David C. Anderson, I don't hate David C. Anderson. I just don't enjoy David C. Anderson. But I still watch What's New at Knife Center every week. Not that I want to copy a design, but I'll see an aspect of a design, and it'll hit me, hey, man, that would incorporate really well with aspects of my design. It might just be, the termination of the handle, something small. So I get that. I think everybody that's ever designed a knife is just like when Ryan set out to design a knife. He downloaded that program and did it. And when he got done, he had designed a Chris Reeve Sabenza. Didn't realize it, but he had.
Yeah, I got that little straight line I picked up at Blade Show is a David C. Anderson collaboration with Igor from Straight Line. I was surprised they collaborated on a knife, but it's an interesting little, funny looking knife. Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
It's got that little kind of turned up blade. They're like $100.
Sherry,
probably my two biggest influence in knife design. The Heathen was certainly inspired by Mick Strider, and the Thug. I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, but the Thug was 100% inspired by the first expensive Chinese knife I bought, which was the Dylan Mallory design. So those are the two designers that have had the biggest influence on me.
The Forest?
No, it was the Archaeo.
Oh, the Archaeo. Okay, I got that.
Thug, and you look at the Archaeo.
Yeah, but I didn't look at the.
They're not exactly the same by any means, and Dylan agrees they're not.
I would have never seen that if you hadn't said it.
But once you hear it and think about it, that the shape of that handle, that's the Archaeo was the Thug was heavily influenced by the Archaeo, and I love that Dylan was like, he wasn't like, how dare you? He was honored that any aspect of one of his designs inspired me to make something.
Hey, Pete, speaking of people who weren't honored, was anybody at KC's booth when the designer came up to him and started going off on him stealing his knife design in front of everybody?
Who?
I don't know. KC was talking about the Kaiser dinner that he had some guy come up to his table and start just going off saying, dude, that's my design, blah, blah, blah. And KC didn't know him, had never seen his design.
You mean every drop point ever made?
Yes, because there's nothing.
I don't know which knife it was. I just remember him.
That's always been my complaint. His knives just look like everything.
It's the definition of vanilla.
Yeah, they're so vanilla they bore me. So how?
Well, it was one. Maybe I don't know if it was a fixie or if it was a folder. I don't know all the different knives in his portfolio, but he was like, "Man, that dude was." I was like, "KC, people are going to be like that. You got people around your booth. Somebody walks by and sees something they think." That was him in a mustache. Malcolm, I don't know what that. Oh, the knife.
I know who that was, Javon.
Who?
I think that was Gabe Owners.
Gabe Owners. This is the Digger. This is that little straight line knives collaboration between David C. Anderson and Igor Altosky, the guy who started Straight Line Knives, who used to work at MKM. It's 14C. It's like $100 at White Mountain Knives, and it comes with a little leather pocket dropper sheath. Interesting little blade shape, kind of a spay with jimping here and here.
Yeah,
about 6 inches, I want to say.
Not my style, but you saying that's a David C. Anderson collaboration, I get that. He's all big into the Nessmook and traditional old. Yeah, that's cool.
Space Ghost, my buddy. Did I tell you about A to Z selling his Zeba on eBay last week?
You did. You said he brought the same money.
Yeah, and
he's selling yours, ain't you?
Well, I never had, and I wouldn't sell it without going to Dark Gravity and giving him a chance to buy it back. I've wanted to keep it in the collection, but to me, it's just crazy money.
Yeah, you never carry it, John. You sucked all the joy out of that knife already. You're not going to get any more joy out of it.
I don't know. It's a pretty joyous knife. I'm digging the backspacer, but yeah, you're right. If it's
got way better knives in your collection now, to the point where that was the creme de la creme piece. And now you've got other stuff that you can look at and be like, okay, I'd rather have this.
Well, that's true, but that one's got some sentimental. That one's got some sentimental value.
That's a slightly gaudy knife, in my opinion.
It's too gaudy to carry. It's one of the only ones that was from Tad that I carried it, but I was with him when he bought it, and the fact that I bought it from him afterwards, 2 years later, it's a good collection piece.
I wasn't saying about the sentimental part. I just meant that. What's worth more to you, the dollar figure or the knife? You know what I mean?
Well, I was more thinking about the knives I could trade for it if Knives and More was interested in it, which they wouldn't be.
I would sell it and then just use the money.
Because I've just got a feeling that I think I've got an idea of how their game is, because they've got they've got a couple of. I've traded a couple with them. I traded my Medford for that Zero Blade Play Microtech, my Medford S35 Mini Marauder.
Yeah, I think
not my Slim. And then I traded a Freak for the TR3.
I think on the Freak trade you broke even. I think on the Medford one, I just feel like you lost just because I'm not an OTF guy though, so I wouldn't
Well,
be.
it was.
There's no resale value in Medford right now.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
was he
I'm
was
just
giving
talking
me
about
three
as far
fifty
as
roughly
ownership.
for the Medford. What's up, Ron Crow?
Which one would I rather have in my collection, or
Agreed.
possibly carry or use? I'd rather have the Medford.
Yeah, I've got 2 other Medford. And
Yeah,
this
that
one
makes a difference too.
is right before the whole Gavin drama came out.
Yeah, yeah, literally days.
Yeah.
The Ziva, I've got a Hank that has that same knife is actually the Angel version of the knife held by Countess Anne. You're right. That one's got more value than just the dollars and cents.
Javon, I wonder if you could take that Zeba and trade it for a car door.
Dude, all I've got to do is get my ass together and go find a body shop that'll work with me and get back in the game. You have no concept of where my time is spent. Even though my lawnmower's running, I didn't get my grass cut today, but I did get it fixed. I stay around this computer making content all the time to an unhealthy level.
I understand that, dude. I lose track of days, and then they add up to weeks sometimes.
Well, I'm not losing time. The only thing that keeps me from the schedule that I used to have on schedule now is a video a day, which is unnecessary. I shouldn't be doing a video a day, but it just keeps me pointed down the right side of the road.
Yeah.
You know, my shorts and my
I
video.
don't realize how much time has passed or how much time I've lost until I'm having a conversation with Kyle about, where I'm at, what I've done. And then it hits me. I'm like, man, where'd the last 5 days go?
I could be doing so much more, dude. I could be doing so much more. Don't get me wrong. Cause like I told you the other day, I deal with creative constipation, but that's self-imposed. It's because I get myself in this kind of little like mini rut where, it's just slight depression. It just is what it is.
What's up, Mr. Bro? What's up, Evil E?
I had an awesome dinner tonight. I know you backyard grill connoisseurs are going to hate me, but for $12, I bought 3 chuck steaks. My wife ate one. I ate 2 of them, and I cooked them in the air fryer individually.
How'd you prep them? What'd you put on them?
I made a slit in the top. I put just a little bit of minced garlic in the slit, and then shoved a pat of butter in it. Sprinkled Tony's on top of it. Cooked it at 400 degrees for 14 minutes. I am not saying that this is as good a steak as some of you guys could cook on your grill, but it's better than any steak I've eaten at a restaurant. And it costs $12 for me to eat 2, and my wife have one.
Those are air fryers are amazing.
For that, I couldn't believe how good an air fryer cooked a steak.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for all the typing for the hate to come in.
Oh, I know. And then I put A1 sauce on it.
I thought you were going to say you took some hot dogs and you split them down the middle and you soaked them in Dale sauce, and then you put them some Louisiana hot sauce after grilling them, and then put some shredded cheddar cheese. I used to love those fucking things, man. Those little artery jammers.
Yeah. Terry, I didn't say I shoved a whole bowl of garlic. I had some minced garlic. And if you know how big minced garlic is, the little tiny cubes, there was
you didn't read that all the way through, Shane.
Oh, did I? Well, it may be funnier if I just take it the way I read it.
I don't know.
That way, when the butter melts and comes out, it takes a little of that minced garlic, kind of oozes over the steak, soaks in a little bit. I'm not a huge garlic guy, so just like 10 or 12 little bitty pieces of minced garlic in there is fine for me.
I want the more garlic, the better. I want it to seep out my pores.
Yeah, I love me some garlic.
Dawson, you ain't lying, buddy. He sent me that picture too.
I didn't get a picture of the dinner. We talked some today.
How are you liking your skinny, Kyle?
It's good. I carried it today, actually.
Nice.
Brant doesn't approve.
I don't care.
Because you've modded it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get Brant on here and let him just kind of talk you down for having a modded hinderer, just for 5 minutes or so.
I don't give a shit. That's the point.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Did y'all see my little show and tell on the Battlefield pickup?
I don't think I did.
I will never understand. I know what those both are listed for down at Knives and More, and I know from talking to Tate that they'll sell for that when somebody wants them.
Way too
But
much.
I've had to read up on the lore before I reviewed the one or did the overview. They basically take an XM18, which this one was just like my Spanta, and then they go in there by hand and they distress it, and they put little, I forget the type of marks they call this, almost like an HRC mark they used to put on military equipment. They call it a divot, but it's not a divot. And they put a little serial number on it. These little, but besides the scratches, it's got these little divots. The hardware too. So the hardware's done. You've got a little bit different G10 scale, and then it looks like paw prints on the blade. I don't know what it is. It looks like white paw prints
That's 10 minutes with the Dremel
on the blade.
on the scales.
Well, I'm thinking they do it by hand. I don't think they're using a Dremel. Because when you read about it,
there's not much to it for what they charge extra. And then
well, they charge, you go from $425 to $650 on their site.
Right.
But on the secondary, it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, they go for $800 to $950 tops.
Yeah, I've seen them. I'm told.
Shane, are you frozen?
I'm told that they go for higher than that.
Uh-oh,
Now, I've
Shane.
not seen them go for higher than that.
Shane gone.
Where'd Shane go?
He was frozen, looked like.
Are you sure he wasn't just chilling or having a stroke?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the second part, but it looked like he wasn't chilling.
He'll come right back.
No,
but do they make so few of them? Because what else does Hinder make? Because they make the tabs, the anniversary tabs, but what other type of knives do they make? I know
they do special assemblies.
The card series. What was the card series?
Those were super limited, and those were like $2,000.
Yeah, Scotch used to get those. They came in a box set, right?
I don't know about the box set, but I know they were super limited. But the point to me is what they were asking for that to me was astronomical because I've never seen one go for that high.
No, and I don't know what you could go in there and buy it for. I just Tate has told me that they've had them before, and that's what they don't sell. He said it's not uncommon for them to sit in there for 8-9 months.
I'm not knocking your store, Javon. I'm just saying that to me, that's just
that seems
crazy.
very high.
Yeah,
it seems very high. I'm not gonna, I hear you loud and clear. I was just surprised because they got two of them, and they're two different generations, but they're within like $100 of each other. But again, this place has a $10,000 Benchmade Bally Song with a blue blade. That to me is I don't get it.
I mean, they're worth what someone's willing to pay for them. So if they're
correct,
if they're willing to have them sit there for a year, then maybe they'll find someone.
One thing he showed me that I found amazing. I don't know if y'all remember that video, but he had a case in there that was all case knives from 1929 to 1969. It was floor to about chest case that was maybe 60 inches wide, just full of old cases. He's got about 8 cases in there now. He says people come from all over because now what he'll do is he'll go back to his estate stuff in the back and he'll put together more knives and put out there. But to me, that's just wild that people come from all over looking for stuff like that. Things that I don't even think of in my galaxy. And you can't go in there without somebody from the arsenal or somebody from just a factory buying a Benchmade.
Let me see if I can find one. Hang on 1 second.
Tuna sandwiches and Slim Jims doesn't sound very, very good, Terry, to be honest with you. I think I'd be able to watch that if I was living off tuna sandwiches and Slim Jims.
4 days ago, I just saw a XM24 battle pickup went from 900.
That's a good deal. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't get them for less, Again, it's kind of like what A to Z got for his Zeba. I was never expecting it to go for that. I think it has to do with linking the right blade up with the right buyer. And if you're at a brick and mortar and you've got people coming in from Atlanta to look at stuff that have money in their pocket, they might be more likely to pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder why Huntsville has so many. Are there even any knife stores in Birmingham?
One that's there's a Benchmade Premier Plus dealer in Birmingham. I don't know the name of it.
I bet it's not a knife store though.
No,
hunting goods.
But dude, Knives and More, I drove by it for 30 years. I didn't know it was a knife store, and it was. If you're not a knife person, you'd never notice that little hole in the wall was there. Think about it. It's just a little storefront in a shopping mall. You get more traffic if it was a head shop.
Obviously, Javon, depending upon what the number in the series was and the model makes a difference, but I just saw an 18 go for $750. That was 2 months ago.
What's the number? Because they all say BPS.
BPU.
Yeah, BPU. But what's the number in front designate?
I'm not an expert in that, so I'm not going to say, but I think that it correlates with when they were manufactured.
Yeah.
Listen, we're deep into this, but before I forget, I want to mention one thing. For those of you who believes in thoughts and prayers or whatever, Ryan had to put down Chipper today, and that dog was like family to them. He's pretty upset about it. So
absolutely.
If so, y'all keep Ryan in your T's and P's, or your burning incense, some sage, whatever it is you do. But I think they're having a pretty rough time with it.
Hopefully, Chipper has a good walk across the Rainbow Bridge.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But we had a rough day with BB Saturday. Amber got up Saturday morning to let her out and go pee. And as soon as she went out the door, it was one of those situations where you could hear her paws hitting the deck. She was running so hard. Apparently there was a cat in the backyard. Luckily, the cat got away. It was smart enough to run under the deck, and when BB went around the side that it went under, it came out.
Lucky for BB, it wasn't Tippy.
Yeah, so fortunately the cat got away. But later that day, I went to take some garbage out, and Cam followed me out the door and didn't shut it. She has never gone out the front door. Dude, she bolted out the front door, and the little old lady across the street was mowing her yard. And I went running across the street screaming, "Shut it off!" Because, dude, she was tearing after her. And luckily, right when BB got to her, she shut the mower off, and BB just stopped.
BB was about to crunch an old bone, get a little marrow.
I would like to think she wasn't going to hurt the woman, because it's the mower she's mad at. And as soon as she shut it off, BB stopped and sat down, and we got her back in the house, and I apologized. She's like, because I didn't think about it, I was doing this to her. So she could hear me. She's like, I didn't know what you meant. She's like, I literally shut the mower off so that I could hear you, and then I realized, oh, it's the mower she doesn't like. I was like, yeah, it was the mower she was going after. See
those little pock marks on the hardware?
Yeah.
Those are those hardness marks. They're different than the scratches.
Are they?
Believe it or not.
Is that what they told you?
Well, that's what I read on the Hinderer site on why these are what they are.
Probably means it's just struck with something hot, which the side effect of that is that it changes
the HRC. You see the scratches, and then you see the little whatever they beat it with, like a little hammering.
I've made marks like that on accident before too.
But this one is the 748 is generation 3 because it's a tri-way. So I don't know what the other one is. This is a newer version last year or whatever.
Yeah, they're cool looking. I like them.
To me, like I said, the blade looks very symmetrical. It looks. It didn't look like a natural distress, to me. The blade didn't.
No, it looks like. It looks like it was purposely done. That's always been my issue with it. Like, I love to see an anodized aluminum knife that's been carried for like 2 years, and the edges are starting to rub through. I love that look, but that's all done very naturally.
See, that looks like duck heads printed on it.
Yeah, that can be done with a sticker. You just put a vinyl sticker on it and run your little electrolysis sponge across it, and it creates that pattern. I don't know that that's worth $300, but whatever.
No, dude. 425. What is that? 225 from 425 to 650
Yeah.
$125 worth of scratches.
scratches and blade marks. This isn't. I mean, it's the same S45
Exclusivity. That's what it is. It's being able to have that BPU stamped on.
I'm planning something really, really, a really special finish with these. I'm not going to talk about until it's done and I can see it. But I've literally lost sleep thinking about these kitchen knives and what I want to do, and I'm hoping it's not too gaudy. But yeah, I want to do something a little special on these.
How do you do a finish like that? I don't know if you can see it. It's got little lines on it, and I've seen these finishes before.
That could have been lasered on.
It's not lasered. It's a. This is a very rustic.
Could be stenciled.
Huh?
Could be
the same thing. It could just be a vinyl stencil, and you just
I think it's
put your saline solution on it and run your power supply hooked to a sponge across it, and it'll create a pattern on the blade.
Even if it's 3V.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. Or maybe like some nail polish or something. Could you put some liquid on it that would keep it from? Because it almost looks like it was liquid on there.
It's a pubic hair finish, according to Doc Carr.
I'll tell you what, this would be one that I wouldn't want stuck in my back.
Sharif said it can be done with a water quench. I
can't. Can be done with the water quench.
I can't touch that because I've never heard that and know nothing about it. He could be right.
Sharif, is he going off on his waterboarding torture tactics again?
Check this little stove out, Shane.
What is that?
That's a Rife cicada or cicada. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Them cicadas.
Them damn cicadas is bad.
But it's a thick. I mean, it came with the tech lock. I've got it set up as a pocket dropper, but it's a little thick to put in the back pocket. But what it comes with is this adjuster for the sheath. So it's got a little eyelet up at the top back corner for you to adjust it. And I don't know why that is. They've got another one, the F3, that doesn't have that feature. But that's just a small little bushcraft thick, I'm having
a hard time showing knives, John. I'm so stoked about yours right now that everything else seems petty to me.
Dude, they are petty. I'm sitting here looking at a table full of them. They get old. This is the only one. This is the only one that's excited me lately.
What's up, Brian?
What's up, Brian Kill? How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you, Brian.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Brian's back in the swing of things.
Back in the saddle
again. His presence on the social medias.
Absolutely.
I love Brian's videos, man.
He is an absolute wealth of information and a joy to be around as far as like just interaction. Yes,
I like his music parodies.
I've had great conversation with him. I really enjoy Brian.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Brian.
Brian may be able to touch on this. Me and Mearsalt had this conversation where he was talking about how much distance he wanted between the handle and the cutting edge of a kitchen knife. I know you want knuckle clearance, but look, if you gorilla fist a knife, in order for me to have knuckle clearance, that'd have to be over 2 inches. But do you not agree that most of the time you hold a kitchen knife like this, my knuckles don't touch as long as I'm using it like a kitchen knife? I don't have knuckle clearance if I'm holding it in a straight fist, but I don't hold a kitchen knife in a straight fist.
I don't think for chopping or rolling, you're going to put your finger up there, aren't you?
Yeah, and as long as I'm doing it like this, like how I see chefs use them, there's plenty of finger clearance. So I'm just hoping I've got enough to make him happy on that. This one has more, of course.
Because it's got a taller blade or a thinner handle or both.
Yeah, it's a taller blade. But I don't know why I'm assuming Brian knows something about kitchen knives. That might be racist statement.
What,
Not gonna
what
lie,
fancy
I see
little what fancy
Brian, tell
little
me about
plumbing-
these sushi knives. Tell me if I'm doing it
Look,
right.
look at this
I'm
last
sure
comment. You'll understand.
Yeah. I just eat Chipotle. Yeah. I wish you guys have no idea how well I finished these before heat treat. I think I sent Kyle some pictures. They were beautiful. So I can't wait till they get back to beautiful again.
Todd, watch closely.
What up, Brocaz?
Brocaz, I don't know if he ever answered me, but Brocaz, we shared. Will you share that picture again, Kyle, of the knives outside the sheets?
Yeah.
Because one of those is Cole's. And in case you guys don't remember, Cole won the Thug giveaway that I did to thank you guys for y'all's donations to James. Cole won that, and he should be receiving it in the next few days.
Have you seen old James in a while?
I did. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Okay.
So there's yours, third from the top, Cole, with your leather sheet.
With that like copper or tan looking handle? I can't tell from here.
Third down. It's the purple with the copper.
Purple.
Copper glaze.
With the acid wash blade.
Yeah, and those do have no, that's not an acid wash. That's just crew wear. It just turned a little dark. It was never acid wash though. Sometimes some of my crew wear could just be laying on the counter and it just gets darker than others. But and those do have a clip on them, Cole, so you can clip that in your pocket.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I don't know if Craig Vincent's in here, but his knife was on there too. The other two are Aiden Miguel's. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that is, man. I can have 4 crew wear knives laying on my counter, like in the process of different processes, and one of them will it won't turn black. It'll just, and it doesn't rust. It'll just turn dark, just laying there. I kind of like it.
Aren't they all kind of different? I mean, I know they got the same.
Yeah, I don't know why one would turn dark and the one right beside it doesn't. But I could literally swap it across a Scotch-Brite belt and it would go away. But I like the fact that they turn. And I've had some that stay almost chrome looking. They never get dark. I don't know. Yeah. Don't be storing knives.
Yeah.
Kids. I don't believe that. I do believe that. I understand the concept, but I've never had an issue with it.
That's because you use 1095.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be true for some 1095, but 1095 is probably what got Diddy off all his charges.
What the fuck?
What?
He's still in jail, isn't he?
No, they acquitted him.
No, but he's not out, is he? I thought he was still in jail.
Well, I think they might have got him on something, but they didn't get him on the big charges.
Right. But I'm just wondering.
And
I think that's crazy.
They fired that prosecutor because that means.
And what's the deal with?
He was the same prosecutor for Epstein.
Well, so Epstein,
Maxwell.
there is no list, but Jazane is still in jail for trafficking.
No, that's not
trafficking for who?
No, she's not. Kyle, educate me.
She was put in jail for providing minors to Epstein. She was not implicated in any trafficking herself.
So, but what's the charge of providing minors? Isn't that called trafficking?
I think it was aiding and abetting to him, but not the actual. She was not the actual person trafficking them.
Man, it had to be Mossad.
Yeah.
That's some hot shit.
Don't store your stainless knives in sheaths.
Yeah, but Comey was the prosecutor for Epstein, Maxwell, and Diddy.
God, man. I mean, yeah, I don't.
She's not anymore. But it's too late now because of the way the Constitution is written. We can't recharge any of them.
Well, where do you think her future
I told
is?
you all along, there was never going to be a list, or at least an honest list. We're never going to know, because if there's anybody of power that could affect the way the economy runs, they're not going to do anything to those people.
Unfortunately, that's correct. And there's also multinational, so it'll never cross.
Right. Yeah, Prince Andrew, they were just willing to give him up.
God, what a poor lamb, man. That he's been thrown out on the bus so many times. From when I was a kid, I can remember Prince Andrew being thrown on the bus.
Right. And the thing you have to think about, man, is that's
the whole thing.
Such a weird topic because like it's not like those girls were kidnapped. But
No, look into Giselle's dad.
They were, you know, poor or kids from an underprivileged neighborhood that were willing to do shady things for money. I'm not saying that makes it right, but a lot of people make out like these were just children that were snatched up off the street. You go to a 17-year-old girl and say, "Hey, would you do a massage on this rich guy for $100?" The 17-year-old girl is old enough to know exactly what she's getting herself. She knows exactly what's going on. But it doesn't make it any less illegal.
Bugsy. I've got plenty of stories on Wexner.
You're talking about the owner of Victoria's Secrets?
Yeah, but it's also it's much larger than just that company. He owns that. It's limited. It's fucking. There's multi companies under that, but
the companies are just.
I used to live like 15 minutes from where he does out in New Albany, and I had friends that worked for that company when I was up there, and that dude is something else.
Is he still alive?
That's the best explanation.
And he's the one that allegedly gave Epstein that property that's so expensive in Manhattan? Or is that a myth?
I don't know on that. That's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. Laura would never know. Yeah, Bugsy, we probably don't want to know the truth. Yeah, I told you I had an uncle that worked in intelligence at a very as high level as you could be without being an elected official. I'll put it that way. And I used to question him a lot. And finally, the answer he had to give me to shut me up was that if everybody woke up tomorrow and knew the truth, society would cease to exist as we know it. So regardless of how ugly it is, some things just need to be covered up with lies, or
the fabric comes
our
apart.
daily lives falls apart. None of this exists anymore.
And I get that, Shane, but we've also had this argument too, where at what point are you willing to watch it burn just to get the truth?
Well, I'm old enough now to watch it burn. I can care less.
That's my point. Like I could care less.
Do I want Cam to go through watching it burn?
I'm not in that position that you are with that, though.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but the majority of the world is not in a position to watch it burn. So I understand it. Like the one thing he did, and I was shocked that he admitted this to me. Do you guys remember when Reagan won the presidency and Iran released those hostages the same day?
Yeah.
That was like the biggest thing about his presidency was that the world was so scared of him that Iran released them that day. That was all a lie. Carter had set all that up for them to be released, and then the CIA told Iran to hold them until the day that Reagan went into office. So those guys sat in prison for months after they had agreed to let them go
for political reasons,
just to make Reagan look good. Yeah, that's scary when you think about it, dude. They did not give a shit about those people's livelihoods or well-being, because the CIA at that point in time wanted to make Reagan look good. It was whoever's willing to relinquish as much power to that organization.
Kind of like Vitaly being stuck over in the Philippines for being a nuisance streamer and nobody wanting, the Russians not wanting him or the Americans. He's just fucked.
He deserved it.
He did. But you know that, what's that rapper's name? What's the rapper's name from Atlanta?
Which was ridiculous.
Who was in jail, who got in so much trouble, who Trump pardoned on his first way out. He's on live streams now. Huh?
Lil Wayne?
No, but that was one of them. This guy's younger. This guy, hold on.
Meek Millie?
I know who you're talking about.
Let me Google him. Hold on.
Meek Millie?
No, what's the streamer, the Mexico, the real famous little black streamer. What's his name?
I can't remember.
Is
His
that
Not
name.
Ice
Rocky?
Speed, but the
Kodak
other one.
Black? Kodak Black?
Yeah, Kodak Black. Kodak Black was this guy that was on his stream who's so out of it, who was in jail after so many charges. I watched a documentary on him, and for some reason, he's one of the guys that Trump pardoned in the first, got rid of all his federal charges. Now he originally, Kai Cenat and Sharif. If you go to Kai's stream with Kodak Black on it, it is scary. But and Kodak got pardoned, but that just got rid of his federal charges, not his state charges.
I was a little upset when they questioned Trump over whether or not he would pardon Diddy after that trial was over, because I fully expected to hear one word, and that word was no. And he never said that. He never said that he wouldn't pardon him. So I don't know, man. It's just all.
Well, all I know is
everybody just needs to be concerned with taking care of themselves and their own. That's all I'm getting at. There's things going on that we don't understand, probably don't need to understand, and it's just.
But how does he come out and go back into society? I don't think that's the plan for Diddy that anybody has for Diddy. I don't see Diddy on a boat.
Well, there's Colombian drug dealers now living in the United States, living in high-rise condos on the beach that we're supporting them 100%. That if they release that guy because they don't want certain information out, it's not like he's going to go back to being poor. The government will take care of him.
Yeah, that's true.
You and I will pay for every penny of that.
I will say this from the very beginning. I said Diddy was an asset all along.
A government asset?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Epstein was an asset?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know which government. I think it's just as likely. I think it's probably more likely that he was an asset for Mossad than he was CIA. And there's a lot of people that say there's no difference. I know people that swear that the CIA is Mossad, and that's how Israel runs this country.
No.
I don't know, though. I just know that I probably don't want to know. I just want to concern myself with making knives and having buddies and,
Absolutely. Going on with our little, what's up, Donnie?
Of course, he didn't say you effing. You're going to have to spell better, dude. I don't know what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah, well, I think that's a given.
But the difference is I don't think some people can differentiate between the government and the country. I didn't raise my hand and agree to die for the government. I agreed to die for my country. However, those decisions are made by the government, and we hope that we can vote. But, man, it just is what it is. Men can't handle power. That's all there is to it. Because I don't think any of those men sleeping with those young girls, I don't think that had anything to do. I don't think that has anything to do with sex. I just think
Speaking of,
you get to a certain point and you've achieved so much power and so much money that all there is to achieve is taboo. That's
you
all.
You got to get your dopamine, man. It's all
that's
about.
All that's left are the things that you're not supposed to have.
So, did you hear about the Coldplay scandal? The CEO, the CEO, and the HR chick that got seen on the big screen and then ran off.
Who fucking cares?
Nobody cares, but it cost them both their jobs if they just sat there. I don't know, but it did.
They're consenting adults.
Apparently, they were good at their job. It was a multi-billion-dollar company.
I'm just telling you that's their. Neither one of them worked there. Now they'll probably work at another company. We lost a guy when I was at the corporation I was for the same exact thing, and 2 weeks later he was at a competitor running in the same C-suite. So it happens, but I think it's just unfortunate they reacted the way they reacted. If they just sat there, some people would have seen them, but it wouldn't have been viral.
I just don't know. It was just something else to distract. I don't know why everybody gives a shit.
Yeah. It was a non-issue.
Who's she sleeping with? I just don't care.
Ed.
If I was a customer of that company, even if I was a shareholder and they were doing a good job, I don't care. I didn't care that Clinton was getting blowjobs in the White House. if that's what it took to keep his anxiety down and keep his hand off that red button, by all means, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, I think though.
Everybody that posted that shit, or everybody that made a deal out of it and wanted them fired, I guarantee you, every one of them have done the same thing. They just didn't get
Sure, but that's a big HR no. I mean, that's just in everything that you sign.
That doesn't mean shit in the real world.
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean that because they're high up, they should somehow be immune from the consequences that anybody else would have faced caught in that same situation.
Were they on the clock?
No.
Then who cares?
Because they represent the company, because they're officers of the company.
I fully get that, Javon. But I'm saying if you're not at a company event, you're out on your own. Who cares? You're an adult.
Shareholders, dude, and it's just the way it is.
I get that, but I'm saying.
I agree. I don't think it's anybody's business. I don't think it's anybody's.
John, this is my favorite Photoshop of it.
Is that on? Which one is that?
When you see it, it's Lars and
yeah,
Dave Mustaine. The Photoshops have been fun. I'll give it that.
There's
and I don't mind the memes. I think they've all been funny.
I think it.
As far as their jobs and all that stuff, I just don't care.
Nor should
Kathleen, you're 100% right. We've never known
the truth
about anything, and even when they do release the truth 30 years later, nobody cares anymore.
And it's redacted. Everything that matters is always redacted.
Even if they didn't redact it, nobody would care. It doesn't affect them anymore. You know, years ago we admitted that the Gulf of Tonkin never happened. So the Vietnam War was all a lie and was never necessary. But nobody cares. Nobody went back and put those people in prison or killed them for what they did. Nobody cared. We act like we care because it's
WMDs
on the internet.
Shane.
Because everybody loves to, I'm going to make this guy look stupid.
Shane, or WMDs.
Yeah.
That was the whole wrong approach.
Misinformation, or was it just bad information?
There was a.
I know the source of that information. My uncle gathered that information. He told them there were no WMDs. They handed that exact same file to Colin Powell and told him that there were. Colin Powell didn't lie knowing he was lying. They gave him completely opposite results of the information that my uncle compiled.
He's one as a kid that for some reason I always believed.
Yeah,
and
he was a good man. He didn't. The truth is, he lied, but he didn't.
With the information that he thought was facts.
Right. That was all about money.
Ed,
everything's all about money.
Ed, that is so weird. If you've ever been there in person to see that.
Ed, you're right. Ed's right. For years now, all we want to talk about, we want to know the truth about Kennedy. We want to know the truth. All right, here's the truth. Did you see that CEO got caught with his HR department manager? That's more important than the fact that we've wanted to know for 50 years about Kennedy, and now that the truth's out there, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. What I was saying, though, is that the Grassy Knoll and the whole Dallas thing is so weird if you've ever been there to see what they came up with to actually tell people happened.
It's not even physics that you could make it happen when you look at it.
It's odd. I'll leave it there.
A Marine Force Recon sniper couldn't repeat the shots in that amount of time. There is no explanation for the bullet. That's a complete fucking lie.
And
his wife came to that press conference with her husband's brains on her dress. And when they told her she needed to change clothes, her exact words were, "No, I want them to see what they did."
Yep.
He wasn't talking about Lee Harvey Oswald.
No.
He was talking about the people in that room. I want them to see what they did. Everybody's known. Always have known. But what's the alternative? You know, they probably don't have all these concerns in Africa. What kind of lives are they living? We're all sitting in air-conditioned buildings. We're all on high-speed internet. All this exists as long as we're willing to ignore these ugly truths.
Yeah.
and I don't give a shit what you say. You're not willing to give it up to change things.
I wonder how long it'll take me to get to Philadelphia Casino. I'm feeling fucking lucky. On the stop at Taco Bell on the way.
Are you?
This is America, man. I'm fucking going to the casino.
Yeah.
I'm betting my other door.
Philadelphia.
I'm going to put my left door on fucking red.
Why the hell would you want to drive to Philadelphia, though, Javon?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, keep the empire moving forward. Yeah, it's
we all talk shit about it, but we're all guilty of it. There's something that we're not willing to give up and be
called consumerism.
Change it all.
It's consumerism, man.
Right.
The sad thing is,
Donnie, it don't matter if we voters or not, dog. You can scream anarchy all you want. You're not willing to give up the fucking way you live to go back to anarchy either. Do you really think that the fucking the pot and the beer logistics are going to exist in a state of anarchy? Absolutely not. You're not willing to give it up. We're not willing to give it up. Everybody's equal in this. We're all fucking spoiled.
Well, not only that, but as much as people want to bitch, there's no place on earth better that someone that you could go live.
Absolutely not. Just absolutely not. But yet the crookedness exists everywhere. I mean, you have the same. You have just as high levels of
Jeffrey's on something
of lying and cheating. You have the same levels or higher of lying, cheating, and stealing in Haiti. But how do those people live? They're feeding their kids mud pies so that they can subside their stomach aches so they can go to sleep at night. It exists everywhere. It just works best here.
Where in Twitter am I seeing all the people get pulled up on motorcycles and shot and then shoot each other back? They're all armed. Is it Philippines?
It's probably Brazil.
Yeah, maybe it is Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, that shows if everybody's armed, fuck.
Well, Donnie, if you're willing, dude, you start it. I'll be glad to watch. I hope they write a book about you. Because until somebody does it, I don't believe it.
Yoko, I'm not quite understanding that.
Understand what?
Getting washed away by hurricanes. Make that big. I can't see it. It went away.
That scared me. Is ICE putting a bunch of immigrants in a cage to get washed away in a fucking hurricane? Okay.
Well, the main difference is that there's missing one word there. They're illegal immigrants. They shouldn't be here in the first place.
And there's hardworking Americans that are still living in FEMA trailers since Hurricane Andrew that would definitely get washed away in a hurricane. The problem is once a country grows to any significant size, you just can't take care of everybody. Some people are going to fall by the wayside.
They are people. I agree. They are people, and they should be living where they came from.
Yeah.
And come here legally.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want my taxpayer dollars to support someone who shouldn't be here legally.
Yeah, I mean, if there was an excess.
When we have people here who need help.
Here's the question, though: who has the most right to complain about it? The ones that pay the most in taxes?
No, everyone.
But if you don't pay any taxes, do you have any right to complain about it? I'm just saying, I don't know, man. Like there's an argument. There's an argument for every point.
I'm just saying there are enough people here that need help first.
Absolutely.
That actually.
And I also, a lot of people. I lost a couple of friends right off the bat without them even asking my opinion about this topic. And whether you agree with this or not, I think the immigrants who came here have been here 10 years, have set up families, they have jobs. They're doing things the right way. I think when we cut all that money back, we should have dumped some of it into expediting their citizenship and making them legal.
Yeah, I'm not
all abiding.
If you tell me, hey, we've got this list of of people who have committed crimes, didn't show up for court, blah blah blah. We're going to round those people up and ship them out. I don't have a problem with that either because I don't want them in our prisons. I don't want to have to pay taxes on a guy that ain't supposed to be here because they were criminals to begin with.
How are they paying taxes if they're not on the books?
No, they don't all pay taxes, Donnie. I've worked in the farm industry. I know how that works. People talking about no illegal immigration. It's a fucking lie. And people talking about that they don't get benefits if they're not legal citizens. It's a fucking lie. I've seen it. To what percentage? I don't know. But
yeah, I'm saying there should be reform to the policy as far as how they get here legally.
Absolutely, because
I just want them to be here legally. The ones that want to be here, and I'm okay with that.
I don't understand how you can be upset, though, that if somebody crossed our border, regardless of what country they came from,
exactly,
and has committed a violent crime, how can you be upset that they found them, handcuffed them, and are getting them out of the country? They're living in better conditions than our soldiers do when they're over outside our borders. So I don't know, man.
That's why we need to get Vitality home, man.
But there's no, there's no answer. It's at a point now where it's so big, and every situation is different. So there is no universal answer, and that's all the government can do is try to solve universal issues. But those universal issues always alienate somebody. They always have, and they always will. That's just a part of life.
Donnie, if you don't like it, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, that's enough, Donnie. I mean, you can talk to me in fucking 3 months, dude, and then come in here with an attitude. Fuck off, man. How about that? I mean, have you been sitting here every week waiting on something to cuss and bitch about? Just get the fuck out. Anyway.
Yeah, the bottom line is we can participate in this fabric, but we're not going to make direct change unless we do it at a local level. And then it's going to be kind of just at your neighborhood level. Right. And then you're kind of, working it the way maybe it was intended to be worked.
You're exactly right, John. And that's the way it has always is supposed to be. We're supposed to handle these things on a local level because at a local level, you can take people in different scenarios and have different answers for that. You know what I mean? Like you
Absolutely.
Can look at, like a
you can make change.
Can look at somebody in a situation.
Your charity is going to a need where you see it being consumed. Whereas if you look at it on a larger scale, just on one small aspect of it, it's much harder to manage.
Right.
But yeah, I think local is where it's at, and local is where it gets lost too.
Yeah. And that's the problem is that local doesn't do that anymore. I know lots of families right now, dude, that may or may not have come here legally, but they're living the American dream. They're working. They're doing everything the right way. Do I want to see them?
Hey, Donnie.
Back of a van? No.
Donnie. How about no one gives a fuck? When's that review coming out, buddy? Waiting to hear from that.
Which review?
His skeleton review. Go fucking cry, bitch.
Life's too short to hate. We're all on the same fucking rock spinning through space. Yeah. And really all you can affect is
there's a difference between talking about a subject and calling people idiots and downplaying their opinions. I'm open to anybody's opinion.
Sure.
It's presented respectfully.
Sure.
People assume I have opinions about things that they're completely wrong about.
And I know this to be true.
And that's what's upsetting is that they don't even find out what your opinion is. They just label you and decide that that's what you believe, whether it is or it isn't.
But that comes from a place
that I have had conversations with, people that I've gained much respect for, Jack Slungs and I, we don't agree on a lot of things politically, but after having an actual adult, mature conversation about it, we realized that, man, we're not very far apart at all.
But that's how we learn about each other. That's the good thing about communication. If people don't have logical arguments to communicate, they resort to name calling, and it's just non-productive.
Right. Yeah.
But
Shane, my apologies. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm just.
That's all right, man.
He crossed the line with me a long time ago, and I'm tired of his shit. So
it's uncalled for. Anybody. When we talk about this stuff, anybody can state.
Absolutely.
Yeah, opinions are welcome.
I'm willing to listen to any opinion, but don't call everybody else names and tell them they're fucking stupid because I don't believe the way you do. And you can't badmouth the way a government runs if you don't contribute to it. If you're not part of it, then just shut up. Stay out of it.
Valid points.
Yeah.
That's well put, Dawson.
You might freak in this chat to my house. If you do. Or has to come in. That's right.
Especially if you're my mom, because I don't have a light.
Bugsy, I don't know. I don't understand exactly what you're saying, buddy. If you can't handle a discussion, how could you possibly? Oh, yeah. Because anarchy is not just some symbol you spray paint on a wall, dude. Anarchy exists in countries all over the world, and people suffer daily because of it. I'm just saying that the side everybody thinks I'm on is severely flawed, but we still live better and safer than most people in the world do.
That's facts.
You have countries like Switzerland where things are a lot more peaceful and a lot better, and yet they don't have access to a lot of the things that we do that create these opinions. Is that better? I don't know, man. I don't have the answers. That's why I'm just here in Rainbow City, Alabama. I'm not running the government. I don't have the answers.
But what's cool about, besides
however, as patriotic as I am, I've sat here for an hour and told you the things that I know that a government that I supposedly cut for. I've sat here and told you the evil things that I know about them. So I'm willing to admit that what I agreed to die for is imperfect without calling you stupid.
The bad thing, Shane, is the fact that what is so great is that we can sit here and have conversations, discussions with people because we have that First Amendment right, and you can agree to disagree. Yeah. A lot of places you don't have that right. If you don't toe the line.
If we were in China, they'd already kicked my door in.
Yeah, from what's going on in the chat, they could have absolutely.
Yeah, but I have what I consider. Some of them are newer friendships. Some of them are blossoming friendships. I have guys that I know for a fact disagree with the things that I say. And I can be just as friendly with them as I can. Look, this is going to be a shocker to y'all. Kyle and I, we agree less than 50% of the time. But I love Kyle like a brother, and I respect his opinion. And I let him say what he wants to say.
To get along with
he lets me say what I want to say.
That's because your basic morals, values, what you like line up, which is really, if you polled everybody without having a bias, most people care about the same 5 basic things, right? They're all wanting that security, sense of belonging, whatever you want to put those 5 things at, but they're not as different as media and the parties want us to think that they are.
Yes, people are more alike than they are apart, but unfortunately wedges get driven and people cross lines and draw lines that don't need to be there. But the fact that Shane and I, or whoever and I, can get along has nothing to do with whether I agree with you or not. I get along with someone because of them as a person and what they stand for. It doesn't have to be what they vote or what they think about one topic or not. There's way more we have in common than we have apart. I mean, That's the beauty of being a country where you can have different, aspects to your life and different opinions.
Well, it's how we learn, and in my experience, it's how I learn.
My wife's in there asleep, and she's the best friend I've had in my life. Now, some of you know my marriage situation, and it's not by any means normal, but we don't have the same views on hardly anything. But because we love one another and care about each other and have respect for each other, we can have conversations about it. And I've never called her stupid. I've never said hateful things to her about what she thinks, and nor has she done that to me. And that's just the way it should be. Because and Bugsy has a good point. Bugsy's right. In the end, the only people that are ever going to help us and the people that we need are
our tribe.
And it's not the government. They're not going to come running to help you. The cops, at this point, cops are just report filers. They're just supposed to show up and file a report and make it a legal knowledge of what happened.
Speaking of, I almost punched a little pudgy weightlifter yesterday.
Did you?
I had a guy show up at my door, ranting and raving. He was shorter than me, believe it or not.
He would have folded you, John.
Dude, I was fucking taking. I was kind of half asleep on the couch when he came and woke me up, so I wasn't at my spry when he first came. He's like, "Hey man, your bamboo just fucked up my truck." I said, "No, it didn't." He said, "Yes, it did." I said, "I don't have any bamboo." Yeah. He said, "It's right back here behind your house." I said, "This ain't my house." And so he walked back there, and the guy, basically, the power company's been back there, and they tied back some bamboo when they were doing work on it because they knocked it over. I said, it sounds like to me, he goes, well, I'm going to call the cops, not emergency number. I said, call whoever you want to, but I'd call the city because you were here if you lived down there when they were, he goes, that was AT&T. I said, yeah, but it was the city too because they're the ones that came up to my door and said, we're about to cut your power for a couple of hours. Right. So it wasn't just AT&T, and you can see that there's shit tying that bamboo back. Granted, it's Rosenblum Realty. Call whoever you want to. But about an hour later, he had the cops back there filing a report. He came to my porch and apologized. Huh?
A report for what again? Why did he feel like he needed to call the police?
Because he ran his new pickup truck through the bamboo that was laying over, and he thought it was my responsibility that the bamboo was laying over the gravel alley back there or something.
Could he not see the bamboo?
I guess he could, but he said his wife was bitching about she's been moving it for a couple of days. I said, well, that's probably before the power company tied it back and made it look like a snare. I didn't have much patience for him.
Yeah, if it's not your property line, then
no. And I said, and is it even on our property? Isn't that Tim's? He goes, no, it's not Tim's property. I was like, well, Tim's the one that used to tell me about the bamboo, so I thought maybe it was his. He lives with his girlfriend now in Tennessee, so I'm sure he gives zero fucks.
KDX, you've been here for so
What's up, KDX?
I know KDX's politics too, is the only reason I asked that. The reason I think it's funny. But guys, I apologize for that. That's been a long time coming. Man, you can disagree with me all you want, and I'm mature enough to listen to your opinions. The difference is I'm not gonna not speak to you for 3 months and then lurk in your chat and then call you a fucking idiot. That's the difference. So anybody that wants to pick sides or whatever, go right ahead. Just remember that I didn't do that, and I wouldn't do that. So
it's a respect thing,
right?
Yeah, it's a lack of being a bitch ass,
right? I quit doing live streams with Donnie because it was just too much for me. I got tired of hearing him call my viewers fucking idiots and tell them that they're fucking wrong and they're fucking stupid and blah blah blah. That's why that no longer exists. I tried to handle that in as friendly a manner as possible. I took 100% blame for that. I said, look, man, it's just me. My mental health, my anxiety. I can't do it. Still wanted to be friends. At the very least, be friendly. I sure as fuck didn't sit in somebody's chat and wait till the right time to go in there and start.
Purge out.
So if y'all want to hold that against me, I get it. But y'all don't know.
You're kind of an asshole for being that way, but I get over it.
Yeah, I've swallowed my pride long enough. I still support his right to his opinion and live the way he wants to live.
Absolutely,
do it over there. Just like Sobit Scooter's comment, I have an opinion but no power to do anything. I don't pay taxes. I get the law knocking on my door. Scotty, man, as long as you're not harming other people with the way that you live, I don't fucking care, dude. I support it. As long as it's not harming somebody else, I don't care. But it did kind of get a little different tonight, though, didn't it?
No, man. It was a Sunday night.
Yeah.
That was just a little weird.
It was bound to happen. It was going to happen sooner or later.
Well, it gets weird from time to time.
Yeah.
He had a good show, and I would think that capitalism is kind of dependent on having a successful knife company. So you got to have. There's some gray areas there too. I'm sure in his beliefs.
Oh yeah. The whole I don't believe in capitalism. I just want to make cool shit and get paid for it. That's fucking capitalism, buddy. If you don't believe in capitalism, then that means you make cool shit and hand it to the government, let them distribute it, and you make the same thing that a fucking busboy does. So,
yeah, there's a difference there.
All logic always comes across ignorantly. It always does, dude. The ignorance, you can't hide it. It comes out eventually. And that's what happens. Throat giggle happens. You're exactly right.
I love throat giggle on the screen. Is that fun?
I always forget to take the shit down. That's not my background either.
But throat giggle is very apropos.
That tells you how much I care.
Jesse, that may be the comment of the night.
Yeah, I think throat giggles happen.
Yeah.
The universe provides, man.
That's right.
I hope Orion and his family's doing okay. That breaks my heart.
Really are. It's just you know,
that's brutal.
It's gonna be a sad day. It's probably gonna be a sad day tomorrow.
Like I told my mom, and it's the truth, unless you buy a tortoise and a parrot, you're getting yourself set up for a tragedy. And it's just part of it. But they love so well that we deal with it.
Yeah. And that's why there's certain people in this community and I brought this up before, like Todd Carr. I've never met Todd Carr. I've never had a private conversation with Todd Carr.
Hop on, Stevie.
Yeah, jump in here, man.
I'm sure one of us can offend you.
I'm glad Stevie's here because if I did or said something wrong, I want him to let me know, and I know he will. So yeah, get in here.
It was probably me.
No, I said my piece, and I apologize for what I said, but
you don't need to apologize for what you said.
Probably me promoting another American knife.
Well, it's your platform, Shane. I'm just here as a guest.
Yeah, there's no need for you to apologize, dude. Well, come on, fucker, if you're coming. Let me tell y'all why I have so much respect for said Stevie. Stevie's a fucking goofball, man. He acts like a middle school kid most of the time, and I love him for it. But I've had some pretty serious situations in my life that I only share with 3 or 4 people in this community. It's Kyle and John and Stevie. And I'll never forget, man. I don't even remember the issue or the person, but I was having this issue.
Welcome.
This issue.
Welcome, Stevie.
Oh, hello.
I was having this issue that was really causing me a lot of anxiety and affecting me negatively. And I remember, and Stevie wasn't involved, but he was kind of caught up in the middle of it. And I don't even remember the details, but I remember asking Stevie. I was like, "Man, you think you could talk to that guy for me?" And his immediate answer was, "No, I'm not. That's something you need to do."
Yeah, that's what you do.
And I need that kind of friend in my life because he was 100% right. You know, it wasn't going to go away until I handled it. So that's the reason I have so much respect for Stevie. So
respect, huh? You got that RSEC.
However you spell it.
Stevie spits the tough wisdom. He's a wise dude.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my wisdom. I'm about to spit.
All right.
I just wanted to come on and say I just ate an entire can of cold Chef Boyardee raviolis, and it was like the best thing I've eaten in a long time.
That's it.
Were they the cheese or the beef?
They were beefaronis.
Yeah.
Not the beefaroni, but
The beef ravioli.
Yeah.
I went for a long drive today. Got home, I was rearranging my totes in my truck, and I got my, just in case I break down, some fucking things to eat, and I had the munchies, and I just took down an entire can of Chef Boyardee.
So you're going to replace those and put them back in the
with my knife, by the way. I just wanted to share that.
Question for you, Stevie. Was the taste that solid because you haven't had them in a while, or was it because of the smoke?
Oh, look, I didn't hear everything you just said, Kyle, but they were fucking disgusting, actually. And
Why didn't you just eat them?
That was going to take way too long, and I was trying to live in the moment.
Yeah. Immediate gratification and heating them up don't go together.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit, I forgot that I had those back there. And yeah.
Are they the big ones or the minis?
No, they were the bigger ones. There's like 8
good,
of
man.
them in there.
Oh yeah.
I probably still have some in my beard, if I'm being honest.
Now you look good. There's no
That
red
used to be
spots.
one of my favorites when I was in high school because I used to wrestle and I'd weigh myself with shit to see if I'd make weight. And I loved beef raviolis. And they used to have a thing they don't have anymore, probably because it's carcinogen, but it was chicken flavored Pac-Man pasta. And it was little Pac-Man pasta and chunks of chicken. And it was kind of thick. It wasn't soupy. It was just good shit.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had chicken Pac-Man pasta with
Chicken flavored Pac-Man pasta. It was back in the 83, 84. It's went away. You can't find traces of it on the internet.
Well, I'm glad you didn't come on here with any drama, Stevie, because I don't allow any drama on my channel.
I don't know what the drama is. I'm just hearing about it from a million people. So I was like, oh, I can contribute to this conversation. I can just talk about the munchies I had.
Speaking of munchies, I've been getting empty platters of shit that Ryan's been eating. Are y'all still on? Have I missed that? Are y'all training?
So for one, unlike Shane, I believe Ryan when he says he will not lose this challenge, this contest. 2, I recently ate a couple of McNuggets and thought that they were absolutely disgusting.
Horrific. Yeah, and you got the.
Why do you think I'm not participating?
And it made me realize that if I participate, I'm just giving my money to someone else.
Sounds like a solo sport.
There's no way that I'm going to be able to do it. And I'd just be doing it just to do it. But then I'm like, I'm going to waste money on all these chicken nuggets.
We got to do it as a solo sport. How can we do it as a fundraiser? Every chicken nugget Ryan eats.
I'm down to keep cheating and winning contests. I'm not above that.
How many nuggets do you think you can stick in your beard?
You've offended Bugsy.
I mean, I can get creative.
I love me some nuggets.
But I just don't think I think Ryan went too hard. And now we're like, yeah, this is probably feasible for this dude to just.
Especially after the videos he was sending.
I know I've always been accused of eating a little fast. Like anytime I go eat with people, I'm always the first one done. And that day we went to Blaze Pizza and I sat down at the same time Ryan did. I was like 2 slices in and Ryan was throwing his napkin on the pan. I was like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah, he can put down some food. He knocked that burger back pretty quick too. And he got like a triple, didn't he? That burger on Sunday?
I don't remember.
Dude, he knocked it down like 3 bites.
Yeah.
How you been, Stevie?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
where I lost my teeth.
Yeah, that place.
Eat as many reps.
You can go back. If you weren't watching, Stevie, you can go back and watch. I don't know if you can read the comments, but you can imagine how it went. It was all
I saw something potentially brewing, but then I literally was stuffing my face with
cold ravioli.
By the time I got out of my truck, did all that and came on, all I saw was a couple messages. But I saw something festering. Yeah. I'm not surprised if something bubbled over. But
oh man, life's good if you're eating cold raviolis out of a can.
I mean, as hard as I was trying, I knew it was coming eventually. So
Dude, I can remember being a kid, popping the can and setting them on. What are those little things called that are like Bunsen burner? Is that what it's called? A little candle. And it had a little rack, and I'd set my can of raviolis on it out by the campfire, and they'd start bubbling,
Oh,
and they'd
yeah,
get
yeah,
warm in
yeah.
the can. I wasn't a scout, but I was just a camping kid. And then we'd start drinking our whiskey, eating our raviolis, smoking our cigarettes, our Cool Kings. Life was good. God, life was good.
Cools with a K.
Cool Kings, baby. That's what we used to get from mom.
K double lot L's.
Yeah,
With
maybe
the
you should change
beige,
it to a
they
cold
were kind of
ravioli
beige and had a the green top.
Exactly.
Or were they old school where you had to tear? They weren't there. Were they soft?
They were they didn't have the flip top. These were
where
the
you just undo the top and
top
then
them out. Yeah.
you had to tap them out.
Kathleen's got a point, Stevie. Maybe you can use this to your
To a
advantage.
cold ravioli contest. That might throw a curveball big time.
That's disgusting too, though, man. Like I said, it was good in the heat of the moment.
Why does it taste so bad cold? I mean, it's not great warm.
No.
It's very
Warm.
warm.
Warm, it tastes like shit too.
I think it tastes really good. I think raviolis. I've actually got.
I haven't.
It's really good. It's never as good as you think it is once you take that first bite. But it's
No.
But like cold, it gags me instantly.
I literally, so I was getting into one of my
Shady,
shows.
now's the perfect time, buddy. Welcome B Shady. Everybody right now.
Shady.
What's up, B
Yo,
Shady?
what
KDX garage is correct. You're talking about Sterno gel pucks.
Maddie, I disagree.
I have a couple of totes that ride around in the bed of my truck. And in one of them, I have just in case I break down. They're not MREs. They're literally just like, what else do I have in there? Some like cheese and peanut butter crackers and like some granola bars and stuff.
As everybody should have in the truck.
Yeah, and I will replenish this, but I was looking for something and was like, man, these sound really good right now. That's
I'd
the
still
only
be on the
reason.
bed of the truck and my second pack of cheese crackers.
What I keep in my truck, Stevie?
What?
What do I keep in my truck?
Oh, a spitter and a can of dip.
And a bug
Nerd
out.
rope.
And the bug out bag.
A bug out bag, a can of dip, and 2 half-empty spitters. That was your exact words.
Yeah.
And you got a pencil sharpener in your bug out bag, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, just so I can make perfect wood shavings.
Interesting. I've got to still do that.
And I hope to God I die and never have to use any of that shit because I love
I thought about doing it today, but I felt with my luck after taking my carburetor apart, I had just enough fuel out there that when I struck the fire, I'd be a fireball. I figured, fuck that. Let them do it out in the yard.
That would have gone viral.
That would have gone viral. No, I didn't have a lot of fuel leakage, dude. I clamped it off. I swear I'm going to start doing small engine repair on the side.
Hats off to KDX Garage for remembering Sterno.
Yep. That's what I was saying. That's the gel fuel pucks that you put on
Sterno, thank you.
Pans.
It's like napalm.
That was one of the funniest things, dude. We were at the UNG Tools booth, the German dudes that make the forks and all the 3D printed tie stuff, and they started handing out American dessert, and they had like Twizzlers and like they called it sugar candy or something, and Twinkies. And they had like a big bowl of them, and Scooter's like, "Nah, thanks, but I got something for you." And Scooter busted out of his backpack a big old pack of Slim Jims.
Where was this? Was this the Kaiser dinner?
No, this was at the UNG Tools booth on the floor at Blade Show.
Oh.
And he's like, "I don't want any of that, but you should try one of these." And handed him a Slim Jim. And
did he crack
like,
open the Slim Jim?
And he's like, Scooter's just like, "It's a meat stick." They're like, "All right." They're like, "Where do we buy more of this?"
Are so good. I mean, they really are. If you think about it, I can remember when you used to get the box of like 6 or 8.
Yeah. That's what Scooter had.
If you can
We
get
were just surprised.
Cracking the Slim Jim.
I just don't like the grease on the Slim Jims.
No, yeah, but it was just funny that they were amazed at the meat stick, and they're like, "Where can we buy these?" I was like, "Any gas station."
Oh, I
like,
froze.
Okay.
I froze. My bad.
Amazon probably too.
Oh,
I found these chips I really like. They're because Hispanic, but they're Guatemala. They're a green bag, and they're like thick chips with like guacamole sauce on them or
Guaca
guacamole
chips.
powder. Huh?
Guaca chips.
They might be guaca chips. Amazon, I couldn't find them. I finally found them on Amazon. They're like $34 for 4 bags. I'm thinking about getting some. Because they've got them at the store, but they run out all the time because I'll buy them out and then it takes them 6 months to get them back in. Let me see I'll find them exactly what they are.
I can eat guacamole. I mean, like if I was stranded on a deserted island and all I had was avocado, unfortunately, you can live off nothing but avocado.
Well, these are powder. So
I just don't like it enough to buy it.
Dude, I'll
It's
just
good.
eat avocado.
Is it just me? Because avocado just tastes like a real mild onion.
No,
That's what it tastes like.
No, not if it's done right.
it's its own thing, but it's like it depends on also.
When I
when
say
you're-
onions, I mean chives, like the green onions. It's kind of that same flavor without the bite.
maybe
And I can eat it. It's just so expensive that I don't like it enough to pay for it. Or I wouldn't buy chips with the flavored in it.
it depends on the ripeness of it too. It changes the flavor.
Yeah, it's a texture thing for me. I hate avocados, but I love guacamole.
guaca chips,
I
Stevie.
don't like the
Yeah,
texture
guaca
of
chips,
avocado.
man. I know what's up, Javon.
So you don't like the
Yeah,
guacamole that has like the little square chunks in it, then, do you, Kyle?
No, I want it to be processed, like chopped.
Nah, give me that chunky.
No,
Like I love mashed potatoes, but if it's got a little chunk in it,
Yeah.
I'm like, Grandma, what the fuck?
Guaca chips.
Dude, those things are so covered in guacky flavoring. They're delicious. Now, I agree with Stevie. If I go to a Mexican restaurant and they've got chunky guaca,
Yeah, give me that chunks.
I
That's just
love
been
it.
barely chopped up in a molcajete.
Got a little bit of onion, a little bit of
I don't know if
tomato
y'all
in
saw
there.
it, but that was KDX Garage's answer for the perfect ravioli. He mashes it.
Oh,
And he says the texture's
yeah,
better.
that's way too many steps, dude.
Yeah, that dude
I'm
can
just-
cook.
You just peel the top off, lick the top. Hopefully, you don't slice your tongue.
Yeah.
And you just,
No
you just
doubt.
get in there, man.
He's a German
You
sausage.
use your
beer.
dab torch to get it hot enough to eat.
Actually, if I were going to buy KDX Garage a knife, the ideal knife for him really would be that beer and sausage knife. Because that's like his
Yeah.
favorite things, German sausage and German beer.
Is that the one with the little fork and the little does it have a blade and a can opener or just
And
a
a
fork?
comb,
Oh,
doesn't
and
it?
a comb?
I guess for combing your hair after you eat, I don't know.
I think it's for your beard.
to
That might
get all the yoo-hoo out of your beard.
That's right, Terry. That's a good place for it. Yeah.
I know a lot of people like it chunky, but I'm just a very picky eater, especially with textures.
You like it creamy?
Yeah, I want it chopped up.
I like it creamy too. I mean, I'll take it both ways. I'm when it comes to a avocado, as weird as it is, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I can literally cut an avocado, take that nut out, and just scoop it like a freaking cantaloupe.
Yeah, that's what I do,
My
man.
hearing is fucked. I kept hearing Waka chips. Was trying to figure out when Fozzie Bear made his own chips.
Waka,
I hear
waka,
Waka. I
waka.
think Waka Flocka Flame.
Waka waka waka.
Heart in the Bricks is one of the best songs, one of the best rap songs ever. Did you ever see the Barack Obama parody to that?
Uh-uh.
The Heart in the
No.
Paint. I'll send it to you, dude. It's fucking hilarious. You remember the Waka Flocka Heart in the Paint, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this. I know the song.
Yeah. Well, the parody was Barack Obama. It was the best part of his presidency, in all honesty. It's so good. I'd play
Shut
it
up, Dawson.
before you get in trouble. What are the odds? God's it creamy. Yeah, if you're gonna mash something, you gotta mash it into just a silky puree for me, or just don't mess with it. Just leave it chunked.
But I also don't like the taste of avocados plain. I like them doctored up in guacamole.
I'll tell you the best
What
thing
is
I've
the
been seeing
difference?
on the internet.
What do they add to it? Because it tastes like straight avocado to me.
Nah, you're putting a little bit of lime juice, some
Yeah.
garlic, some yeah, I mean that's some cilantro.
I'm not a huge fan of cilantro either.
Salt, pepper.
And it's necessary in Spanish food, but I want it light. It kind of tastes like I'm one of those people that cilantro tastes like
Soap.
soap. Yeah.
Oh man, I feel sorry for you folks 'cause I love cilantro.
I love cilantro
I go
too.
through. I
Same.
can't grow cilantro because I use it too much. So, I mean, I could, but I mean, it's gone right away.
Yeah, cilantro
And,
is fresh.
You
Is
just
great.
smoke it all up, wouldn't you, Stevie?
Yep.
Look at that
Yep.
green leafy shit.
I love these things. Check this out, Shane.
The scooter, maybe I haven't had any with enough jalapeno in it. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't trust koalas, bro. I don't. Something about a bear that's small,
Oh, it froze up.
slow, and just chilling in trees all day. That's a trap, dog. People be like, oh, they're so cute.
I can't. That stuff is taking over.
That AI little kid stuff, dude. It's creepy, man.
And the gorilla ones.
I
Yeah,
haven't watched the gorilla one.
the Yeti.
Yeti ones.
I'll say this to anybody who's listening. Go ahead and stop sending me those Yeti AI things every day. I'll put some sort of an emoji on it, but I'm not watching them.
All the ones I get are racist.
It's all that's what it's morphed into.
Yeah.
And they were cool for a second. Now they're everywhere, and I'm like, all right, it's lost its.
There's got to be an app that's churning those things out.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but man, I thought pickles was bad. Nah, people send me those things.
Then they stuff your algorithm full of the shit.
Yes.
That's
So
what soap's made of, Terry. Soap is made out of cilantro. That's why it
And
tastes like.
your algorithm can get jacked up quickly, especially on Instagram.
But the Theo Vaughn, the baby Theo Vaughns are always the best. I don't know why he took over that main thing. Him as a baby's the best ones ever.
He's just a trip, man.
Look at me, I'm Stevie. I'm too good for your memes.
Fuck hipster.
No, man. I mean, I just tattled on myself because I'll put some sort of an emoji on it to make you think that I'm enabling you guys.
The first 3 Yeti ones that people sent me, all 3 of them were racist. I haven't watched one since.
Well, now it seems like that's all that they're doing with AI. It's just making it racist.
Yeah.
Well, they used to say things that push. I haven't noticed it as much, but I haven't watched a lot of it outside of those baby videos.
I mean,
and usually just the Theo Vaughn or the Tiger Woods.
Some of it's funny, but I mean, I can laugh at people making fun of white people too. So, but it's just, it's too much. Everyone sends these pictures of toilets. Let's fuck that algorithm up.
No, you guys suffer the consequences more than I do.
You're right.
You guys are the ones sharing it, so they think that you like it.
But our love for annoying you is worth fucking up our algorithm.
Yes.
How long did it take y'all's algorithm to get off of midgets?
I have not financially recovered from that. I still get that skateboarder one. There's so many remixes of the skateboarder.
Yeah.
They just fall different.
Yeah. They do fall different.
Any updates on old
Yes,
James?
I'm glad you mentioned that because John asked earlier. I actually went by Southside McDonald's like a week ago. No intentions. I was just hungry, so I stopped in, and not trying to be funny, dude, but there were a couple people standing at the counter. I just assumed he would never go back to work.
You thought he wasn't working?
And I hear somebody say, "Hey, Shane," and I turned 360 degrees. And then it hit me to look down, and I was like, "Oh, James, what's up, buddy?" He is much better. He's still having to take weekly trips to a neurologist. He can speak whole sentences. He still, he still has a twitch,
but he's able to work.
He's able to work. Yeah, he's back at work. He's mobile. Like I said, they're still trying to get the twitching or whatever under control, but he can speak in whole sentences, so he's doing much better.
That's great.
And he seemed to be in great spirits, and told me again. It's almost annoying at this point how many times he's told me, but he told me again to make sure to thank y'all from the bottom of his heart. So, yeah, he's much better.
That's awesome, man.
That's what it's about, dude.
Well, James doesn't realize how much joy he brought to our lives too.
Yeah, I want to tell him, but I don't know how.
Nah,
That's
man.
best left unsaid.
Yeah.
We
He'll
will.
just reap the benefits.
Yeah.
And it was all in good fun.
Terry, you have a good one, buddy.
Night, Terry.
Take care, Terry.
Righty doight. Hey, I'll say real quick, without getting into too many details, everyone send some positive vibes out to Brother Nuz with 100% snuzz. He's laid up in a hospital right now.
Oh shit.
So,
Had he been on the trail, Stevie?
no, he's not on trail. Hasn't been for a little while. and
Okay.
probably won't be.
Stevie, when you called me, I called and left. I texted him a message. I mean, he can't type right now, so he returned with a voice message, and it was one of the sweetest things I've ever heard. Like, he was lifting me up. Does that make any sense? But it was one of the sweetest voice. It wasn't as funny as Cheetos Edge and Jane. It was just sweet. But
It was a take care of you because you're the only one you got.
right, yeah. He so everybody keep snuzzing you T's and P's.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people on some hard times. Shout out to Crispy and Pops as well. And,
Absolutely.
but yeah, Nuz is pretty banged up, and I mean, I won't go into all the details, but he's definitely in a hard way, broken and banged up. But again, he's still got 100% snuzz. And I've already joked, and he hasn't confirmed nor denied. I'm sure he's already gotten at least 3 of his nurses' phone numbers.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How's he? They must have him dosed up pretty good now.
They do.
Yeah, how do you handle that? Like, is it like you're like when you go in the hospital and they ask if you're an alcoholic? If you say yes, they bring you like 3 beers a day. But what if you tell them you're a habitual?
What hospital is that at?
Yeah, no shit.
What? Is this how they run hospitals in Alabama?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
No, that's not a thing.
Alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic,
Yeah, they won't make you
it's
DT.
bad
And
for your health to just quit cold turkey. They will give you 3 beers a day in the hospital.
Oh,
Not at the same time. But like every
Oh.
4 hours, they'll bring you a beer.
so you don't go into
You
DTs
don't go
or
in DTs and die.
tremors. What are they called? Delirium tremors? Delirium
But
tremors?
now that everybody knows that, everybody just says, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, so they can get
And
the
so-
3 beers.
so where were you going? Like, what do you do if you're addicted to weed?
Yeah, are they going to provide you with some THC?
I mean,
Let me tell you the
ideally,
saddest THC story I know, Stevie. I just was having a conversation before the live. My wife's cousin, Grace, was born with some neurological issues, and she has violent seizures. Both her parents sing in the choir, so THC is out of the question. Yet this child suffers every day from these seizures, and they're spending millions, literally millions, trying to treat this kid. And the whole time I'm like, just
Because of
how,
religious
not-
reasons?
how can you not try it? It's your child. Why would you not? Because the church has told them it's evil, so they won't do it. I'm just like, how can you not try it? And then they're like, well, we don't want it to affect her mind. I'm like, she lays in the floor and slobbers and kicks, and you're not going to negatively affect her state
And
of
it
mind.
doesn't have any of those
She has no
properties.
quality of life because of it. Like, this
Damn it.
is daily, sometimes multiple times a day. It's going to eventually kill her. I wish
yeah,
I knew where to get wish I knew where to get some tincture or something she could take in small.
yeah. I was gonna say tinctures under the tongue, man. That's what that shit was designed for.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They won't try it.
yeah,
If
that's
you end up dying over it.
My neighbor's that way. She had a grand mal about 2 years ago. And
Those are seriously life threatening, right?
oh yeah. This is like the 3rd or 4th one that she's had. And I don't know why she's kind of that same way. Very strict and much like do whatever you got to do to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
yeah. I mean, look, there are people out there that can't distinguish using new medicine like THC and crack cocaine.
Right.
You know, they think it's the same thing, and
Well, but I mean, in all honesty, it all came from something. It all came from something. You know, we've been using opium as a painkiller since the beginning of time. It's just the oil of a poppy flower. There's nothing evil about it. We made it evil by abusing it.
By criminalizing it.
And sending our military over to guard copious amounts of it in Pakistan. Don't even get me started on that.
Walking around. Yeah.
What'd you say? I missed it.
No, he's trying to push buttons.
What'd you say?
About our U.S. military guarding all the opium fields over in Pakistan.
Oh, yeah.
And Afghanistan.
Yeah.
In Afghanistan.
Yeah, because
exactly.
The CIA needs their millions, Stevie.
Yeah.
They have to protect that shit.
Do we want to talk about Vietnam shipping heroin back during the Vietnam War and how they did that? While we had a surge of heroin, we won't go there.
Dude, Javon, so I got a story about that. He would be my uncle, but it was by kind of like he was my step grandfather's son. Well, he actually flew in Air America, those flights over to Vietnam and Laos, where they're dropping supplies, but they're all completely 100% off the books. And they were getting paid. I mean, this is back in the 60s, obviously. They were getting paid like $50,000 to $60,000 a flight, because if they got shot down, they were completely off the books. They weren't coming to get you. And some of the stuff they said they were dropping off over there for the soldiers was just absolutely insane. They were dropping off not just regular supplies, but
were they bringing stuff back? Do you know?
No, they were just dropping, refueling, and leaving.
Yeah, the only difference between milk straight out of a poppy and a Lortab is that they put it in pill form, and Big Pharma makes billions off of the pill.
And they add a bunch of poison, acetaminophen, to it.
Yeah. But that's the world we live in, man.
Yep.
I wonder if there's any relation.
I like air conditioning, so leave it the fuck alone.
I wonder if there's any relationship to the milkiness of poppies and my love of titties.
That could be.
I bet you there is. I bet you it's deeply rooted in my DNA.
It blows my mind that you can grow poppies in your yard, and the only thing that's illegal about it is if you harvest them 2 weeks too early. How do they track that?
They don't, dude.
I could just grow poppies, and if I don't get caught cutting them 2 weeks too early, I'm fine.
You cut them right, you don't ever cut
if I
them.
do, it's a felony. It's just weird.
Javon, I think the crux of your problem there was the fact that you weren't weaned until you were 13.
I was weaned too early, I'm afraid, dude.
All right. I got to go wrangle my dog, man. I got to get out of here.
All right, brother.
All right. It was good talking to you dudes.
Take care, Ella.
You too. Enjoy those raviolis, buddy.
I already did.
Thanks for changing the tone, buddy.
All right, man. Later.
See ya.
Later.
I'm not going to stay on much longer either, dudes. I'm eventually
That's
go.
fine.
But I just,
He was in
again,
the clouds.
for everybody who's still here, I apologize that happened. There's way more to that than y'all know. And I'll take the blame again. I don't mind. I'm just not. My mental health can't handle but so much. And I was trying to kindly and respectfully remove that from my life. And I knew that eventually they weren't going to let that happen. So
Dude,
apologize that all that happened. I
you don't
apologize.
know any apologies.
That way.
Same.
I'm not apologizing for what I said. I'm just apologizing that it happened.
No need, brother. You just be you.
Yeah. And for those of you who are friends with Donnie, that doesn't affect me, man. We can still be friends. For those of you who agree with everything he says, we can be friends. We can even talk about it. And I will be respectful to you, and you'll be respectful back to me, and we can continue loving one another. So,
That's all it's about, guys. It's about individual respect to each other and respecting boundaries. And boundaries with us are thick. I mean, we don't have those girly boundaries.
yeah.
Just another day in the community, Scotty. You're exactly right, brother.
Yeah.
I love all you guys.
All right, guys. I'm gonna get out.
eat.
I got to get up in the morning. I got a
Thanks,
bunch
guys.
of work to do tomorrow.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. See ya.